I can already tell I'm going to like today's show, just based off of the music that happens to be playing when I fired it up. It's hit or miss, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's shit. But this sounds good. It sounds like you're fighting the final boss of a 1990s video game on Sega Genesis. UGA is down bad, as the kids say. Yeah, I don't know if they're down bad. Oh, yeah. Hey. Thank you for reminding me of that, Slim Shady. Yeah, happy Insurrection Day. Boy, I haven't been on Twitter this morning. I bet Twitter's a buzz. Fucking insurrection. Well, I guarantee you there's people on there losing their minds about January 6th. Because it doesn't take much to get idiots mad on Twitter. Hey, do y'all know? Now, I already knew this, but I learned even more about it yesterday. That apparently, if you let people know and inform people that Bill Nye is not actually a scientist, that triggers them. They get mad when you say that Bill Nye is not a scientist. But breaking news, he's not, and never was. Well, I don't know why that makes people mad. But yeah, he's not a scientist. He calls himself the science guy. But if I call myself Batman, does that make me Batman? No. It makes me a pretender, a fake and a fraud, which is what Bill Nye is. Yeah, Greta Thunberg. How dare you?
How dare you?
Yeah. I said, Bill Nye's not a scientist. And they go, Pete.
How dare you?
Pete.
How dare you?
Well, this idiot went to the ends of the earth arguing with me about Bill Nye being a scientist yesterday. She pulled up that he has a Bachelor of Science degree, which is he has a mechanical engineering degree. She thinks that people who have engineering degrees and a bachelor's in engineering are scientists. What the fuck? Hey, did y'all know that, y'all know our buddy Rec Talk, right? The Georgia Tech fan, he comes on the Midday show a lot, and the ACC show too. He's an engineer. Did y'all know that that Rec Talk is a scientist? Anyway. Yeah, Joe Biden gave out a bunch of presidential medals of freedom, which is the highest civilian award you can get awarded to you. It included Bill Nye, the science guy, for some fucking reason, because he had a successful TV show for 8-year-olds 30 years ago. Denzel Washington, Michael J. Fox. Now, I don't have a problem with Michael J. Fox, although he is just an actor, but he has done a lot for the Parkinson's community. So I can get that. I can get behind that. Who else? George Soros. All the people crying about Elon Musk being in the cabinet or whatever, or being part of Trump's administration, and then they give George Soros the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Hillary Clinton got one. Who am I missing? I don't know. He gave like 20 of them out. For some reason, they didn't call me and give me one, though. I've done a lot for this world. As a matter of fact, one time I had an idea. I remember this one time, and actually it was yesterday. I had an idea. Pretty good one, too. We'll discuss that. Actually, I don't know if I'm supposed to discuss that now or if I'm supposed to discuss it tonight on the Lunch Money Show. I guess it doesn't matter. Nobody watches this show anyway. So it's not like I'm giving out like a... Oh, yeah, Magic Johnson got one. That's right. Yeah, he cured himself of the HIV. I guess that makes sense. I mean, he cured HIV, so he should probably get one. That makes sense. Yeah. Lou said he would discuss the slob info tonight. Oh. Well, I had an idea, and I texted it to Lou last night, and he said, do you want to discuss it on the Midday Show and the Lunch Money Show? And I said, yeah. So I don't know. Plus, the Lunch Money Show is a different audience than this show for the most part. I can tell you now? Oh, all right. I'll wait and see if we get more, like 3 more people in here, then I guess I'll spill the beans. But the good news about my idea is it involves all of you. Well, if you're going on the cruise, it involves you. Has anybody seen Traveling Fools this morning? I don't think I've seen him in the chat. We also do have some football games this week. Thanks to the NFL, that gypsy scumbag had to pay me this morning, and he paid me right at 10 o'clock, like a true gentleman that he is. Because if I was just betting on college football, I would be broke as fuck. Well, I am broke as fuck, but I'd be even broker than I am. So, shout out to the NFL. Shout out to the Carolina Panthers for winning me money yesterday. Do you know how bad the Falcons... I bet on the Panthers before the game even started because I knew that's how bad the Falcons were. The FCS championships tonight. Who's playing in that? Is it North Dakota State again, like it always is? Don't they play in it every year? Am I going live for the playoff games this week? Yes, I am. Both of them. What, it's Thursday and Friday night, right? Who's North Dakota State playing against? You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to mute the music right now because I might turn it back on later. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, good morning.
Good morning to you. I think Nesferatu was on the organ on that particular tune that you were playing.
Yes.
Yeah, they played. Rick Wakeman was on it at first, and they had to replace him.
Yeah, who's that guy that? The hell is that guy's name? Meatloaf. You remember Meatloaf?
Yeah. Well, of course.
Yeah, that sounded like a Meatloaf song to me.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, God, what was the producer? Jim Steinman, I think is his name, that produced all the Meatloaf stuff.
Yeah.
It was almost like a Broadway play, especially Paradise at the Dashboard Light was was definitely like a Broadway play.
Yeah. Scott, were you aware up until I informed everybody yesterday that Bill Nye is not a scientist? Because a lot of people didn't know that.
I know what he is. He's very much a liberal. I mean, he argued over everything, and I'm just wondering, why is this guy that used to teach 8 and 9-year-olds something about science now on political rants? And they gave him a platform on all the liberal channels.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's welcome to have his own political opinion. I don't really care about that. But I just thought it was funny that, pointing out the fact that he's not actually a scientist got people mad. But I mean, I'm not an astronaut. If somebody says, Pete, you're not an astronaut, I don't get mad about it.
Right.
I mean, because I'm not.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I loved what Nikki Glaser said at the Golden Globes last night. Said, something to the effect that, your political rants didn't work, this time. It may never work again. I mean, she was on fire last night. I didn't watch all of it, but I watched some of it. And there was one point midway of it, she was going, okay, well, there's been 10 of you that's thanked the cast and crew. 0 have thanked God. So let's continue on with this godless production.
What did you say that was? The Golden Globes?
Yeah.
Oh. What is that again? There's so many of these awards. I don't watch those award shows because, I mean, it's just a bunch of people giving each other pats on the back. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I didn't watch it all the way through either. I mean, I only watched it because I knew Nikki Glaser was going to do the opening monologue, and I think she's pretty damn terrific.
But what is the Golden Globes? Because I know the Oscars. I know what that is. I know what the Grammys is.
It's the awards from the foreign press.
From the foreign press?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
For what, TV shows?
It's a prelude to the Oscars.
Is it for TV shows or movies or both?
It's for both.
Okay.
It's for both. But some of the ones that won last night, no one's ever heard of. I mean, I hadn't. I know Demi Moore won an award, and she's never won one in her 44 years of acting. And, she was pretty proud of it, but she won it for a movie called The Substance. I have no idea what that is.
I don't either.
I ain't seen her since G.I. Jane. I thought she was dead.
No, she's been in, I don't know if you've been watching the Paramount Plus show Landman with Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, she's in that.
She's playing the wife of John Hamm in that.
Yeah.
And she's pretty damn good.
Yeah, she is pretty good in that. Have you seen that show, Slim?
No, I haven't. I've seen clips of it, but I haven't seen the show.
It's
it's a damn good show.
It's pretty good.
Taylor Sheridan's best.
It's I think the same guy that wrote Yellowstone wrote it. Is that true, Scott?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a long.
I just discovered this. Have y'all ever seen the movie Hell or High Water?
No.
Okay, I will highly recommend that movie to watch. But that's a Taylor Sheridan movie that he wrote in 2016. It stars Jeff Bridges, Chris Pine, some other people. It's about 2 bank robbers robbing all these Midland, around West Texas area banks. And Jeff Bridges and another guy, the guy who played the Indian chief in Yellowstone, is his partner, Texas Rangers, trying to find these guys. A damn good movie.
It's called Hell or High Water? I might have to watch that.
Hell or High Water, really good movie.
Yeah, I like the guy that guy that played the chief in Yellowstone. He's a good actor.
Yeah, he is.
What's that guy's name again?
I don't know his name. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
But Jeff Bridges is in it, and Jeff plays Jeff Bridges. How he acts and all that. But Chris Pine's in it. Well, and the other, his brother, I can't think of his name, is a well-known actor too.
Also in Landman, the woman that plays Billy Bob Thornton's wife, she is the whipped cream bikini girl from
Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she looks like she did that movie 30 years ago too.
Yeah, I mean she's like 48 or 49 years old. She doesn't look bad for her age though. I mean,
I've seen much worse at half that age.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a smoking show in this movie.
Yeah, she likes to show off her tits a lot. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you pay that kind of money for them, you might as well show them off.
Yeah, she definitely got some work done to those fun bags. There's no doubt about it. But that show is pretty good, Slim. It's along the lines of Yellowstone. It's the kind of the format of it. But I think it's better than Yellowstone, and I'll watch anything with Billy Bob Thornton in it.
Yeah,
I like Yellowstone. I mean, my only problem is, like, apparently Taylor Sheridan's kind of a prick.
Oh, really?
Like, well, yeah, since Yellowstone ended, like, everybody's jumping on, like, not everybody public-wise, but cast-wise is jumping him and blaming him for an ending.
Yeah, well, first of all...
The last final series of that show was pretty damn bad. They said it was just lackadaisical writing.
Well, without Kevin Costner, there is no show, and that's what happened. He quit the show halfway through the final season, so they had to find a way to end it. I don't know why people got so mad. See, here's the thing.
Well, apparently Cole Hauser was going to leave too because, according to him, Taylor Sheridan's a fucking asshole.
I saw people outraged calling it the show woke because of the way that it ended. First of all, no. The way that it ended was the way that it was written to end back when they did the previous two series of 1899 or whatever the fuck it was in 1921. They said back then that's how the show was going to end.
1883, yeah.
1883, which, by the way, I think was both the 1883 and the 1921 or whatever it was were both better than Yellowstone.
But yeah, I agree with you. 1883 especially. 1923, yeah.
But people, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the end of Yellowstone, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what happened, because this is why people got mad. What happened was, during the show, they couldn't afford to pay the taxes on their ranch, so they were going to lose it. It was about to be taken over by the state of Montana and developed into an airport and a tourism spot. So instead of letting the government take over their land, they sold it back to the Indians for $1 million.
Yeah.
Because it was originally their land. And people said that was woke. No.
Yeah, I don't see how that. Yeah, because they sold it back to them for what the land was selling for at the time it got.
Yeah, and the only reason they did it was so that it couldn't be developed into a shopping mall. So I don't know how that's woke.
And then the Indians said they're going to make this sacred ground. Nothing will be planted on it, or constructed on it, or anything.
Right. And so basically, if you go back to the what did you say?
1883.
1883 show. They said in that show that they told the Indians back in 1883. We will only own this land for 6 generations. Well, Kevin Costner was the 6th generation.
Right.
So, and then we'll give the land back to you. So it was always going to end that way. It wasn't something they came up with to be woke.
Yeah.
So. Well, it's kind of like, to me, that's almost an exact why people hated those early 2000s Star Wars movies, because you already kind of knew where it was going. And now you got to the end of this, you knew where it was going, and you didn't like it.
Yeah, people just want to get mad about anything. And then I saw
so mad about the Sopranos ending.
I don't know if it was Clay Travis or one of those political people.
I mean, people were pissy about the Sopranos ending.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I thought it was fine.
I did too, because you really didn't want to see his brain splattered on the damn diner table. That's what really kind of happened. Every clue was there.
Well, that's to me, that's the key to a good storyteller, where you know what happens even without seeing it.
Exactly, right. Slim. And also,
Tarantino's great at that. You take Reservoir Dogs, and if you haven't seen Reservoir Dogs, I'm going to spoiler here, but there's a scene where they're playing the song "Stuck in the Middle with You," and Michael Madsen is cutting off the ear of a state patrol officer. And you don't see the scene, but you hear the guy screaming in the background, and you know exactly what is going on. And and so Tarantino's good about subliminally you coming up with the scene your damn self of what's going on.
I'm convinced there's not a single ending to any show that anybody's going to like. I mean, every show that ends, everyone goes on the internet and bitches about it for the next 48 hours afterwards. Every time.
People bitched about the ending of MASH 50 years ago.
Yeah.
I think the greatest ending of a series to me recently was Breaking Bad. I think they cleared everything up in that final show, and it was so well done.
Well, yeah, Landman's good. I watched.
Landman's great.
We watched the second season of Squid Games this weekend.
Oh, how is that show? I haven't watched that yet.
I like it. I mean, it's Korean, so it's in subtitles. Well, actually, they do dub the English language over, so you don't have to read the subtitles. But but they're speaking Korean in it. But but yeah, I think it's good. I mean,
it's all about a game they play, right? Something I don't know the premise of the show.
Well, the premise of the show is they basically find like 456 degenerates and gambling addicts and people who are in debt, and these billionaires basically fund this whole thing where they trick these people into coming on and playing these games, and well, if you lose the game, you die. So at the end of it, whoever's still alive wins like $1 billion or something. So it's really
are you Colby, Lou, and Jay Shipes on the next season?
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It's people. It's kind of like it exploits the mind of a degenerate gambler where they're willing to risk their life to win money, basically. At the entertainment of people who like watching people get murdered, So.
Something I'll have to dig into.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I
saw something about it because I completely forgot that I had Prime Video, and I've been watching crap on there for like the last 2 weeks.
Well, what someone told me I had a conversation with a client just about 30, 40 minutes ago, and he was telling me, he said he finally got Rocket Money, so he could unsubscribe to so much shit that he had on, so many subscriptions he had, canceling. He said, you wouldn't believe how many you actually have until you actually look at it.
Yeah, they tricked us. They said, I was all proud of myself for cutting the cable cord, paying $300 a month for cable and whatnot. But now, so I pay $70 for Hulu TV, which isn't bad. That's fine. But then you got to subscribe to fucking Netflix and all the other apps, Apple. I don't know. There's like fucking 8 or 9 of them. By the time you add all those up, you're paying more than you were paying with cable.
Yep.
I mean,
right.
I said that, did I not, Pete? I said that. And that's what kept me from doing it because, like, and I don't get it because my DirecTV bill is under $120 a month.
Yeah, but still, but none of the there's nothing on cable anymore. That's the problem, other than just regular TV and sports. So if you want to watch any of the good shows, you have to subscribe to those other things.
Yeah, because they're putting all the
problem
money into these
stuff
shows.
That's the problem with stuff like Landman, Yellowstone, Breaking Bad. Like, I can't watch that with 2 8-year-olds.
Yeah. Well, and now it's getting even worse because now they're putting sports on those apps too. So if you want to watch like, right now I think they do. Is it Thursday Night Football is on Apple? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
And
so I know it's Prime's got some too.
On Prime, that's right.
Football's on Prime.
Yeah, it's on Prime. And I think, am I wrong about this? Is the Super Bowl going to be on Netflix?
I don't know.
I think that would be a huge mistake.
I think they're doing that.
To do that.
Well, it was a disaster with the boxing match between Tyson and
so many people
Paul.
were stealing it that it wasn't even funny.
Well, their servers couldn't handle that amount of people watching. I mean, I couldn't watch it. It just kept freezing. And I did end up. I was able to watch it on my phone for some reason, but not on my TV. I don't know why.
Same here.
Yeah. Super Bowl's on Fox.
Wrestling is moving to Netflix.
Oh, really?
Is it really? WWE's moving to Netflix? No kidding.
I saw a commercial about it, yeah.
Well, they'll probably get a bigger audience on Netflix than they have because they've gone from like TNT to TBS to where, I don't know who they all.
Well, no, it's been on USA for 30 years.
It's been on USA for 30 years? Really?
Something like that. Like they went away from it for a little while to another channel, but then came back to it.
I don't
I
mind.
don't even know the players of WWE anymore.
Dude, I haven't watched it since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
That's when I got out of it.
I don't mind putting those quote unquote pay-per-view type events on Netflix as long as it works, because I'm already paying for Netflix anyway, so I don't care. I'm not, after the last time I paid for a pay-per-view event was Mayweather and McGregor. And I swore after that, and I'm still sticking to it. I'm never paying for a boxing match again for the rest of my life. That was the biggest waste of $70 or whatever the fuck it was. That I may as well just flushed it down the toilet.
Oh, dude, I've been doing that for 20 years, and I finally kind of hit my breaking point with it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of UFC events, but I don't know the fighters enough to even think about watching any of that.
Well, I still keep up with boxing way more than I keep up with the UFC these days. I used to be a bigger MMA fan.
Do you really? So you tell me, because I have zero idea. Who is the heavyweight champion these days?
Well, depends on which title you're talking about, because
there's 18 different titles.
Tyson Fury had a bunch of them, but then he popped positive for cocaine again and got stripped of them again.
That's the only person I know, and I thought that he lost. So I'm just wondering.
Well, he's lost a fight since then too.
Why do they care if these guys do cocaine? That's not a performance-enhancing drug. I mean,
maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's a gypsy thing. He's a gypsy.
Let him do coke. Who cares? I mean, as long as they're not doing steroids, who gives a fuck what they're doing?
And no,
well, he sure ain't doing steroids. He got back titties.
The Super Bowl is not on Netflix.
It's not?
No,
I didn't think they would, because that's like even non-football fans tend to tune in to the Super Bowl, so I don't think they're going to take that off of TV.
What network is it on, Vic?
Fox.
So Fox, okay.
Yeah, they have a 3-year rotation, between Fox, CBS, and NBC. So.
Yeah, well, you learn something new every day. I didn't know that.
I didn't know about the rotation, but like I said, I didn't think they would pull it off of TV.
Who's going to be the announcer on the Super? Is it going to be Tom Brady? I don't know. Who does Tom Brady work for? Fox?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to make people mad.
Who would be the crew for it?
I mean, Tom Brady's probably going to be involved in it somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He'll be on the sidelines doing some shit. Yeah.
I don't know. People talk about how bad of an announcer he is. He's not any worse than any other ones. I mean.
Well, I don't think he's bad. I think, honestly, you want a good announce crew that's actually going to give you a pretty good insight to a game. Put him and Tony Romo together.
Yeah, I'm with you. For some reason, people don't like Tony. The only one that gets on my nerves is Joe Buck.
Troy Aikman kind of gets on my nerves.
I agree.
I mean, it's not like I turn the volume down or anything, but he's just kind of annoying.
Well, it pisses me off that I think Al Michaels is probably one of the as far as holding down the fort in football announcing. I think Al Michaels is pretty damn stellar, and Chris Collinsworth used to be pretty damn good too.
I
was a Collinsworth fan.
Yeah, I don't like Collinsworth. He meat rides Mahomes too much.
Well, everybody meat rides somebody.
Well, to be fair, Chris Collinsworth, he meat rides literally every player on every team. I mean, that's kind of he's kind of just like a ultra positive sunshine pumper guy. Like, the worst guy in the NFL, he'll make sound like the MVP.
Yeah.
But that's kind of his shtick or whatever it is. That's kind of his style.
As far as an anchor goes, as far as football, I know he's old, but I thought Al Michaels, can call a damn game.
Hey, if you just want to piss people off, add Gary Danielson to the Super Bowl.
To anything. Absolutely. To add Gary Danielson to anything and piss people off.
I'm pretty sure that guy's going to be calling games until they put him in the ground. He's never going to retire.
Yeah, they need to have Gary Danielson and Beth Mowins call a game.
Oh, geez.
Oh, God.
I need the SEC network to hire Lou Holtz to commentate games yesterday.
Well, that'd be propping up the dead there, wouldn't it, Slim?
Hey, we'll have him and Feinbaum start commentating games together.
Oh my God, that would be horrible. That would be freaking horrible.
Al Michaels said he never ate a single vegetable in his life. What? That's bullshit. I call bullshit on that.
That's bullshit, yeah.
He's a liar. If he said that, that's bullshit.
That is bullshit! That is bullshit!
I don't like the new Pro Bowl. You know what the Pro Bowl is? It's the Slob Olympics. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Dude, I missed the Pro Bowl. Like, I just, speaking of which, I was like scrolling through YouTube shorts the other day, and a short came through of fucking but Sean Taylor laying out the punter in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, I missed that shit.
Yeah, I know. Now it's well, they don't even play the Pro Bowl anymore. And when they did, it was basically just two-hand touch.
Yeah.
It was like watching a spring game.
Now it's like, don't they do like a potato sack race or some shit? What are they doing?
Yeah, I like that a lot better than the actual game.
Do you think that they saw the Slav Olympics and stole that idea?
I think they did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the way they do the Pro Bowl now is much more entertaining with the games.
Yeah.
You talk about video shorts. Have y'all seen the 10-year-old outrun Tyreek Hill?
Oh, yeah.
Juke him and the whole damn thing. And Tyreek would look pissed. Yeah.
What?
You don't think he let him win?
No, absolutely not. He was after his ass and fell and tried to get back up and catch the kid and didn't. And the kid juked him a few times.
Tyreek would rather get arrested 50 times than get juked out of his shoes by a 10-year-old.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. This kid just juked his hell and outran his ass.
Was it his kid or?
I think it was probably it might have been one of his camps or something. I guess.
Yeah.
But you saw the expression on Tyreek's face when the kid scored. He was like, he looked pissed, man. Like he was mad as hell.
Did you see what he said yesterday?
Well,
no telling. The Dolphins lost. They were still in the playoff hunt barely, but they had to beat the Jets and they didn't. And after the game, they said, what's your future like in Miami? He said, I'm done here. So
well, I mean, they also needed the Broncos to lose, which didn't happen.
Okay.
Pete, did you see your quarterback with a walk-away touchdown pass yesterday?
I did. My favorite player.
Dude, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
How bad are the Falcons to lose to the Panthers?
That was not. I know that was completely unacceptable. I don't know what happened to the defense. I mean, they just didn't show up. It's like the defense just wasn't even there. Like they didn't even try.
You know who was really mad about it?
Who did I tell you in the preseason was going to win the division, Vic?
Yeah, I know. Yep, Tampa Bay. Yeah.
Sleeta was very upset about the Falcons losing to the Panthers yesterday. I haven't watched his video, but I saw he posted a rage video.
Yeah, I was very upset.
Yeah, you were beside yourself.
I would tell you this, Vic, if you being a Falcons fan, give it the fuck up. Because
Vic,
they're going to disappoint you. They're going to disappoint you every single time.
Yeah.
I feel for you, Vic. I really do. But listen, there is nothing better on the internet than an actually mad Mike Vick.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, not only did they lose to the Panthers are playing like I don't think there's a single starter outside of Bryce Young on that team that's playing right now or yesterday.
No.
They're playing guys I've never even heard of.
So are the Panthers the NFL equivalent of the movie Major League?
Yes.
No. I mean, they were playing
The Replacements. Another great movie.
They just had a lot.
It is a good movie.
They just had a lot of injuries.
They the Falcons are so bad they made Bryce Young look like Joe Montana yesterday.
Is Kirk Cousins still the QB for Atlanta or no?
No, it's Michael Penix.
Yeah, they've already benched him for Penix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I mean, Penix played good in the game. I mean, I mean, he played really good, but the defense was.
It's an either or every damn time with the Falcons, especially when they get down to playoffs or, Super Bowl. I mean, I gave up on them after the Patriots game in the Super Bowl. I was done. And I had been a Falcons fan ever since I was 10 years old. So we're going back to 1965. Being a Falcons fan, and I commiserated with them for so many damn years, but after that I went, no, thank you, no more.
Yeah, there's.
Listen, how many years of the sucking ears did I have to put up with? You can't lose faith, Scott. You have to persevere.
Oh God, yes, you can. You can't lose faith. Yes, I lost my religion. I've lost my religion for the Falcons. Georgia, no, because college football and the NFL, two different entities.
The Falcons have never recovered from whenever they traded Brett Favre.
No, they haven't.
That was the dumbest move in history.
They've had their moments, man. I mean, when Michael Vick was playing with them, Michael Vick was he was a stellar quarterback that first year.
Yeah,
he was something else until everyone found out he was killing dogs.
That dog fight.
Well, no, he completely destroyed his knee, which happens to all these running quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
Was that before or after the dog fighting?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was
out
before.
of the league when he was on his way out the league when the dog biting thing happened.
Yeah, because he was playing for Philadelphia at that time, right? Is that right?
No, he played for Philadelphia after he got out of prison. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Anyway,
his brother wasn't bad too until he shot somebody in that mall in Virginia.
Yeah, what's his name?
Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus.
I remember him when he was at Virginia Tech too.
Right.
That was right around the time Miami and Virginia Tech came in the ACC.
Oh, that's right. And Michael Biggs has a new job.
Yeah, Norfolk State.
Yeah. He's a
Norfolk State.
Which is where he's from. Was that his alma mater? I think it was.
No, Michael Vick went to Virginia Tech.
I'm not. That's not what I meant. The high school he went to is around there, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking him or anything, but what has he done in his life to make you think he can be a good football coach? I honestly don't know.
Well, it's Norfolk State. I mean,
find out.
The what he'll be able to do is get all of the really good talent from the that part of Virginia out of high school just because he's Mike Vick, sort of like what Deion's doing at Colorado, but at a lower level.
Are we going to see this continue? When is it? When is Clemson going to hire fucking CJ Spiller to be their head coach?
Well, yeah, eventually they might. I mean, truthfully, did you hear the rumors?
Deshaun Watson.
Did you hear the rumors of Clemson trying to get Nick Saban to be the defensive coordinator?
No, I didn't.
Now, I don't know. I don't think it's true. I think somebody was just trolling on the internet, but it took off yesterday on Twitter.
Oh, that's funny.
Saban's going nowhere. He's making so damn much money with all the endorsements he's doing.
Yeah.
Plus all the ESPN. And I think he's having fun on ESPN because he says whatever the hell he wants to say on there.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to coach again.
I don't know, man. I don't think he likes Pat McAfee very much.
Guys, I got to go. I got to call.
All right. See you later, Scott. I don't know if he doesn't like him. I just think the way he looks at him, he looks at him like he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he is. But.
Yeah. But that's Pat McAfee's deal. That's his thing. That's why people like him. He doesn't bother me, but he's being overexposed.
Yeah.
He's on everything. He basically is like the face of ESPN now.
Well, nothing is working for them, so they're trying the one popular thing they've got.
Yeah. Well, now that Scott's not on here, he's not a Slob Olympian. I guess should I give the breaking news now?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
And again, we'll talk more in depth about this and get some ideas on the Lunch Money show tonight with me and Lou. But so yesterday I had an idea. I have to give credit. I was inspired by watching the Squid Games. So we kind of threw around the idea of not even really doing anything as far as events on the cruise because we're only on the cruise for 3 days. There's not really a whole lot of things you can do on a cruise ship, and we don't want to spend our 1 day in Nassau doing slob Olympic events because people want to go do what they want to do. I don't want to spend my day in Nassau doing push-ups and fucking potato sack races or whatever. So I had an idea that something that'll be quick and easy that we can do on the ship and still have some sort of games. Instead of doing an individual event, we're going to make this a team event. Sort of like what Traveling Fools and Raj did with the softball game. So it'll be 2 teams, I guess, like a Team Pete and a Team Lou will be the team captains. Mm-hmm. We'll do a draft like they did with softball. It'll consist of 3 events. Now we haven't decided what the events are. That's what we need y'all's help with, or the chat, or the participants. And first of all, we have to figure out who exactly is coming on the cruise. Traveling Fools, I think, knows everybody that's coming. And we'll do a draft. We'll pick 2 teams. We'll do 3 events. It'll be the best of 3. So we'll do 1 physical event, like let's say push-ups, for example. I'm not saying it's going to be push-ups, but 1 physical event, 1 mental event, like a trivia or spelling bee or whatever, like we did in the past, and then 1 silly event. And the best 2 out of 3. So the team that wins 2 out of the 3 takes home the trophy. So there won't be an individual winner this year. It'll be a team thing. But, this is the 5th anniversary Slob Olympics. So it's not going to be conventional anyway. That way we can do the whole event in probably an hour or an hour and a half and be done with it. Mm-hmm. So there it is.
All right. Okay.
How does that sound to everybody?
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah. So does everyone who was on the winning team get their name put on the trophy?
Probably not. It'll probably just be like, we can come up with a name for the teams. It could be Team Pete or Team Lou, or we can come up with actual name. We can come up with actual names, team whatever, and that'll be on the trophy.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So
something tells me Big Dog Brett is going to protest.
Yeah, trying to get. I was trying to get my name put on the trophy, but.
Yeah.
There's always next year, Vic.
Yeah, there's always next year. A Big Dog Brett's not coming on the cruise, so he doesn't really have a say in it.
He has to give the trophy to someone else who is going.
I believe he's going to get it to Lou somehow. He texted me last week and asked me for Uncle Lou's number so he could get him the trophy. So I guess the 2 of them are going to work that out. I don't know how far away he lives from where Lou's at, but I mean, he could just stick it in the mail and mail it to him.
No.
What?
The trophy is too valuable
to mail.
Put in the mail, yeah.
What? I don't know about that.
I don't want lost or damaged.
If you box it up right, it shouldn't matter. Just wrap it in some bubble wrap or whatever.
Got a point.
I don't know. I'll let them 2 work that out. But
I mean, Celine Driver would agree with Vic too.
Yeah.
But also, this will provide us with a chance. The draft will be fun. And then, after the draft is over, we'll have the shit talking between the 2 teams back and forth for the next 2 months or whatever it is. So that'll be fun. And I've already started to devise my list of who I want to draft.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But that's going to be a secret until draft night. I can't give away my strategy here.
Okay.
Because I think that my team's going to win. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pete's already got an all-star roster put together in his head.
I do.
Okay.
It's very important. Mm-hmm. What round is Nick going in? I don't know. And here's the other thing. We'll have to work out the details, but I think the way we're going to do the draft is, I was thinking about this last night, like, we'll have to figure out a way to whoever gets the first pick. I don't know, have to flip a coin or something.
Coin toss, yeah.
But so like whoever gets the first pick in the first round gets the second pick in the second round, and
alternate
back and forth. So let's say Lou has the first overall pick. He picks Vic.
Mm-hmm.
I pick Nate. Then I get to pick again after Nate. So I get the second and the third pick. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be one.
But then Lou gets the fourth and fifth.
Right. Exactly.
1, 2, 2, 1.
Yeah. 1, 2, 1. Back and forth.
Yeah.
So.
Makes sense to me.
There you go. Don't ever let anybody tell you I didn't have an idea.
I actually think this is a pretty good way of doing this, all things considered, since we did decide to do a cruise for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
Okay, good. I thought it was a great idea. I didn't know if Lou was going to think it was a good idea, but he said he did. He either lied and didn't think it was a good idea, but he did say he thought it was a good idea. So.
All right. Well, I mean, if Lou says it's a good idea, then I mean, he's gonna be honest. So.
Yeah, I was also. It made me think of BVD because BVD is admitted this a lot of Olympics. I was wondering if he would have thought it was a good idea.
I mean, probably. Like I said, even.
Yeah.
Like, considering we're doing it on a cruise, that's probably actually the best way to do it. Like you said, that way we're not spending our whole time at the one stop trying to do events and trying to do a bunch of, physical events on the cruise ship is probably not going to be very easy.
Yeah, and even in consideration of time, and again, this is something we can discuss and iron out all the details, but maybe every person doesn't even have to compete in every event. Like, we could say, okay, this is the physical event. I'm going to take my top 3 guys that I think are the most physical and let them do that event against whoever Lou picks as the top 3 for that event. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like perfect example. Say one of the events is push-ups. Well, that would be something Vic is lacking in, but the trivia contest would definitely be something you would want Vic in.
Yeah.
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 Sorry for using you as an example, Vic, but you're here.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
And that'll also help with the time aspect of it. That way we're not trying to get, 30 people or however many's coming through each event.
You can say hello. Repeat. You're not on camera, buddy, but you want to say hello to the people? He wants to be on air for some reason. Go ahead, say hello. You got to talk.
I just came in here to say subscribe to PigskinPeete.
Well, they're already subscribed. That's why they're here.
Yay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but tell all your friends to subscribe too.
Yeah. They go back to school tomorrow. So
mine went today.
Yeah. I don't know why they did it on a Tuesday, but they did.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense for no reason whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah, that does make sense, but I mean, I think they've had enough time off. What's the point of one more day?
Right. Exactly. That's what I said.
I've been waiting all morning for the call to come in to come pick them up from school because it's been snowing since about 6:30 this morning.
I was going to ask you about that. My father-in-law is still here. He lives in Virginia, and he was going to leave on yesterday, but they're snowed in up there. So he's
it's snowing here. I mean, it's just flurries. It's nothing. And it spent all day yesterday raining, so none of it's sticking. But so that's what usually happens here. It'll rain, then it'll snow, and none of the snow sticks. But unfortunately, the temperature continues to drop, so it all freezes, and then we end up with a big icy mess around here.
Yeah. Well, we're just supposed to get some rain down here. It's actually pretty warm outside. It's like 65 degrees out right now.
The high today is freezing, 32.
Really?
It's supposed to be the high here.
It's like 49, so.
I also have another announcement to make. This one's a little bit more sad.
Uh-oh.
Unfortunately. Pete's potted plant has officially kicked the proverbial bucket.
Oh.
Yeah. I did everything I could to try to revive it, but I failed miserably. Congratulations. So, RIP to Pete's plant.
So I guess Pete's potted plant is now going to be, I guess it's now going to be ghost of Pete's plant.
Yeah. Ghost of Pete's potted plant.
You know what? I'm sending you for your birthday?
What?
One of those artificial plants. That way you can't kill it.
You know what? That's not a bad idea, because I was thinking about replacing the dead one with the same one, but...
Or, if you want to stick with a real plant, something living, you may not be able to kill a cactus.
I have cactus on my back porch.
Well, see, put you a cactus in your studio. You can't kill that.
That's true. You know what? That's actually not a terrible idea. And you don't even have to water it either. Well, like once every 6 months or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
Because I've got a bunch of little cactuses all around, like the edge of my back screened-in porch, and I've had it for like 3 years, and I don't think I've ever watered them, actually. So, and they're still alive.
Well, I mean, they're outside, so they get rained on.
Well, it's a screened-in porch, but they're up against the screen, and sometimes a little bit of the water comes in. They do get a little bit of water, I think, but not much.
Yeah.
But
they're cactus. They don't need much.
Yeah, they don't need much, and also they're cold tolerant and obviously heat tolerant, because that's how it is in the desert. So, yeah, that's not a bad idea. A cactus.
Now, see, if you're going to put it in your studio, though, you got to do it right and get one of those like 6 foot tall cactuses that they'll look like they got arms and shit.
Yeah, how much do they cost?
I don't know.
I bet those are expensive.
Research and find out.
Let's see.
I don't even know what they're called. I know it's a certain type of cactus.
Is it the saguaro cactus, right?
Potted cactus plant.
Okay.
Would it be potted cactus or potted cacti?
Here, I bet these are expensive. Oh, these aren't that bad. Oh, here's one. Blue flame cactus, large, mature, and tall cacti. How much does that say? Hold on. This isn't very expensive. $139. That's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible.
Because these little ones that are tiny, $65.
Yeah, might as well have a 6 foot tall cactus in your studio.
This is via the Cactus Outlet. Boy, I didn't even know that existed.
Just outlet.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, look at this. And this is just what you said, Slim. It's got the arms coming off of it and everything.
There you go.
18 inches tall. I mean, that's not 6 feet, but...
I mean, as long as you don't kill it, it should grow.
According to this, the blue flame cactus has a stunning blue color. It's a fast grower. I don't know how.
Grower, not a shower.
It's a grower, not a shower. It blooms apparently in the spring with white flowers.
Yeah. Ooh, pretty white flowers.
Followed by small blueberry-like fruits. I don't know if they're edible or not. I wonder if you eat.
We'll find out.
I wonder if you eat those berries if it's like peyote. Do you like go see God or something?
Let's find out, Pete.
Indoor or outdoor. That's important. Order your blue flame cactus today.
Wow.
There you go.
I mean, it really beats those bonsai trees my wife likes, because I started looking into some of those. Man, some of these people want $1,000 for a tree.
What? No.
And a pot.
Yeah.
No, not paying that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
It's like, I love you, but I don't love you that much.
Yeah. So I guess it's both the cactus, both a grower and a show.
Do y'all remember on the ACC show whenever Sea Dog said that he was a grower, not a shower?
I do remember that.
Well, apparently what happened was Rec Talk kind of threw him under the bus, and he said, "Do you know that Sea Dog is scared to pee in a urinal, like in a public urinal?" And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because he's scared someone's going to come look over and look at his ding-a-ling." I go, "What?"
What?
I said, "Why?" And Sea Dog's like, "Yeah, it's true." I said, "Why?" And he goes, "Well, because I'm a grower, not a shower." I said, "Okay."
All right. Well, it sounds like it might be a shower, not a grower.
Listen, I've been married for a dozen years. All right, my days of trying to impress people are long gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've never.
I'm trying to subvert expectations and keep them as low as possible. That way, when I do something really good, everybody's surprised.
Yeah, I'm like that too. Yeah, set the expectation low. Yeah, that's the key to marriage too. I mean, you don't want your wife to expect too much from you.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to start out bottom of the barrel.
Right.
You know, the day you get married.
Yeah, that way, anytime I do anything, she's impressed.
Exactly.
Because I did something.
And see, then you actually get credit for things you don't do.
Yeah. 13 degrees in Missouri. God damn.
Wow.
I think it was 19 here when I got up.
Wow.
I ain't far from Missouri. I can be in Missouri in, I don't know, an hour, 15 minutes.
You're that close? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you're on the western side of Tennessee, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I should get an ant farm? No.
No.
No, haven't you heard Peete rail against all these animals that show up to games? Do you think he's going to get an ant farm in his house?
No, I got.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of ant farms outside. So.
What the hell?
Yeah, I'm not bringing a tiger in my house for the same reason I'm not bringing ants. If I see an ant in my house, I'm going to spray it and kill it.
I mean, I see two ant farms outside my window right now. So.
What?
Yeah, I mean.
You talking about ant hills outside?
Yeah, I mean, you don't farm
them fire ants in Georgia or something serious.
Oh, we got them bad down here too.
Yeah, we don't have fire ants bad here, thank God.
Yeah, why would you farm ants like that?
I put down
really cool. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I come across these videos on YouTube where people pour like molten aluminum into ant hills and then pull it out after it hardens.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
That's the coolest shit ever.
Oh yeah.
Was it have all the tunnels and stuff in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen them do the same thing with those ground hornet nests.
I've seen in person.
Aluminum.
I've seen in person before. The biggest anthill. You wouldn't believe how big it was. It was probably 5 feet tall and maybe 4 feet wide. What happened? What it was they built a mound around a tree stump. So inside of the mound was a tree stump. But the thing was, I guarantee it was 4 or 5 feet tall.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember being a kid, and I couldn't have been no more than 4. And I remember walking outside with my mom, and she was standing there talking to somebody, and I didn't realize that I was standing on a fire ant hill. And I got covered in those things.
Yeah,
I've done that, yeah.
Yeah, I got them bad too. Apparently, well, first of all, fire ants they call them imported fire ants. That's the actual name of them, because they're not native to North America. They come from Africa. They were brought over on ships, a couple hundred years ago. But they have fire ants. You could probably look this up on YouTube. In Africa, there's like a different type of fire ant, not the same ones we have here. They kill large game. I mean, like they can kill like a big animal.
You mean like the fire ant equivalent of the murder hornets?
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, they'll cover like an animal and just fucking bite it to death, I guess. I don't know how they poisonous venom or whatever. I don't know.
They sting. Yeah.
That would be, talk about a terrible way to die.
Oh yeah. Or those damn those big ass South American ants. What do they call them? Bullet ants.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking screw that noise, man.
In a video of someone getting stung by a bullet ant. Yeah.
Well, they said because originally when the fire ants started out, sort of like armadillos, like, you know, in Florida and the Gulf Coast area, and then they migrated north. So I remember probably about 25 years ago, there was a theory going around that, you know, by this time, by 2020 or whatever, that they would have made their way all the way up to New York. Well, that never happened.
No.
Yeah, well, it turns out they can only go so far north because they hate fucking cold weather.
Yeah. Like where my father-in-law lives, he lives up in Virginia, and they're not there. So
yeah, they're not up here.
I do know they are in North Carolina though, but not in. I guess I don't know. I guess they don't go past North Carolina. Oh.
Yeah, they don't. There's an agreement that they don't pass the Mason-Dixon line.
But we never had armadillos here until 25 years ago. Now they're everywhere.
Yeah, and Pete's been at war with them ever since.
Yeah, they're everywhere now.
Their shells make really good hats.
We were talking about armadillos yesterday. My brother-in-law, he said he knows somebody that fucking eats them.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. You can find anybody to eat anything. Dude, this is America. All right. If somebody was selling sauteed raccoon assholes on a stick, somebody would buy it and eat it.
Yeah, I'm not eating an armadillo. That's just, no, I draw the line with that. I'm not doing that.
I'm sure it'd probably taste fine. Put enough seasoning on it. A little barbecue sauce.
They can carry diseases.
Well, they're supposed to, they have leprosy, apparently.
Guess what cures that? Cooking your meat thoroughly.
Yeah.
Yes, have you ever ate an armadillo, Slim?
I have not.
What's the craziest thing you've ever? Well, I guess it wouldn't be crazy, but like, what's the most exotic thing you've ever eaten? Have you had?
I eat like squirrels and shit on a regular basis, but
Yeah. What about raccoon?
no, I'm not eating trash pandas.
Trash pandas.
Because they will literally eat anything. So yeah, I'm not going there.
Well, the country folk around here eat raccoons all the time. I've never had it, but
I mean, probably the most exotic thing I've had is there's a about 45 minutes north of me. There's a small bison farm.
oh yeah, bison's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that a bunch of times. Possums? What does a possum taste like?
We'll see, they're just as bad as raccoons as far as eating any fucking thing. Dude, they're ballsy too. Like, I walked out of the house one morning with my coffee on the way to work, and there's a possum sitting on top of my trash can. I beat that little bastard in the head with a water bottle, and he sat there and looked at me. And then I threw a 10mm socket at him and hit him with it, and he just looked at me.
We were talking about.
I told my wife, I was like, "Go get the fucking gun. He's rabid."
We were talking about this yesterday. So here's something I've never had that I definitely want, and it's just because it's never presented itself to me, but I've always wanted to try it. I know it's really good. It's frog legs.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Apparently, there's some website you can go on and order like a bucket of them, and I think they're farm raised. They're not wild. But from California, and apparently they're huge, almost like the size of a chicken wing.
Yeah, I want California frogs.
And then you can either fry them or you could grill them or however you want. But
yeah, you can do anything with them. They're good.
Yeah, I've heard they're really good. Have I ever eaten shark meat? No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I've had shark. Yeah.
I've had gator.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. Yeah, gator's pretty common around here.
I've had gator, yeah, and shark, yeah.
Rocky Mountain oysters. Isn't that sheep balls?
No, it's Bull's balls.
Bull's balls? You remember that movie Funny Farm with Chevy Chase?
Yes.
And he goes in that bar and he eats like they have like a record for how many sheep balls, but he didn't know they were sheep balls till he ate like fucking 90 of them. And then they told him it was sheep balls.
No,
Yeah.
never done that. I never had the
Never.
the
I've
want.
never had balls. Yeah.
No, I mean,
listen, if you've ever eaten a hot dog, I don't want to hear anything about what anybody else eats. I mean, you realize the shit they put in a hot dog?
yeah, isn't it like a buttholes or something?
I mean, it's literally every part of the cow or the pig that nobody else wants.
Yeah.
So they take, you take your ham off, you take your bacon off, you take your steaks off, and whatever's left over, that's what they throw in hot dogs.
Yeah, like intestines and stuff.
It's mystery meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tastes good. I don't really want to know what's in it. Because I enjoy eating it,
I'm with you. I like hot dogs.
I mean, sausage is basically the same thing, and it's tasty. Actually, sausage might be worse.
No, sausage is it's just the meat ground up, stuffed inside of the intestine.
Yeah. I told you this, Slim. I got some venison for Christmas.
Yeah.
I've got some in the freezer right now. I've got some some ground, I guess, for like burgers. I've got what they call some kind of venison breakfast sausage. I don't know what the difference is.
Nate is here.
I don't know what the difference is, but I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna probably make some chili out of it.
Uncle Lou disapproves. He doesn't want meat in his chili.
Oh, well, I disapprove of not putting meat in your chili. How about that?
I approve your message. Chili without meat is bean soup.
All right. Yeah. Do you approve of adding Nate or?
Good God, Vic.
Yeah. All right. Here's Nate. Tiger in the Boro says add some fat to the ground meat. Yeah, somebody told me to do that. So I guess the way to go if you're going to make chili with it is to also mix in some ground beef with it, maybe. I don't know.
You can do that, or
what about bacon fat?
You can use bacon fat. You can use lard.
Yeah.
Ground hamburger, what we call ground beef. But
Deer jerky is good too. I've got some of that as well. Yeah, I wanted some of that, but they didn't make any jerky out of this. So the reason I told you the story, Slim, the reason I got the meat, the reason they gave me the meat is my niece went hunting with her dad, and she shot a deer. The bullet went through the first deer and killed the second deer. She killed 2 deer with 1 shot.
Damn.
Double kill.
Double kill, yeah.
That's called
I ain't never done no shit like that, man.
That's called.
And listen to this. You know what she shot it with? This surprised me.
What is it?
First of all, she shot it with an AR-15, which I don't think people typically hunt deer with AR-15s. It's usually a hunting rifle.
A lot of people do.
And it was a 300 blackout round, Slim.
That makes sense. I've been looking at finally grabbing a rifle in 300 blackout.
Well, what's a blackout?
It's not typically a hunting round. I mean, it's more of a self-defense type round.
A 300 blackout is basically a 30 caliber bullet and a 5.56 casing.
Yeah. Yeah, but typically people don't use 300 blackout to shoot deer, do they?
I mean, I don't see why not. 30 caliber is the most common caliber in the world.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it went right through the first one. It went right through the first one's lungs. The first deer that they got hit ran for about 200 yards and then collapsed and died. The second one, it must have hit it right in the heart because it just died. It dropped immediately and died. So they had 2 deer instead of 1, so they had extra meat. And they said, "Do you want some?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely, I do."
And it's awesome.
Pete likes that meat.
I love the meat.
Well, if you don't like deer meat, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, venison's good.
It's all natural. It ain't got none of the. Remember we were bitching one day about all the chemicals and preservatives they put in their food. It ain't deer meat.
He says it is very common for hunting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people use ARs for hunting. Dude, I've gone deer hunting with my AK.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I had sold my hunting rifle and I hadn't bought another one yet, but I had the AK, so.
Well, that makes more. That round to me makes more sense. It's with 7.62. It seems more like a hunting round than a 300 blackout to me. But
oh shit, I know. The second most common hunting round is a 270.
Yeah.
It's 30-06 and 270.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get a bolt action rifle soon. Well, I say soon, I don't know, hopefully within the next year. And I'm trying to decide which caliber I want because they make it in all different calibers, the rifle I want. But
it depends on what you're going to use it for.
Well, mostly just for fun, for target shooting. But I might hunt with it. I mean, I don't hunt. I'm not one of these people that goes hunting for sport. But I'll go kill a deer just for the meat.
Yeah. See, I don't go hunting for sport either. The only thing I'm going to drop and not eat is like a coyote or something.
Yeah. I don't know. They do make a 5.56 version of the rifle I want, and I already have a bunch of 5.56 ammo, so that's probably what I'll get. And you can use that for hunting. So.
I never.
I mean, obviously, I would say like, especially if you're going to use it mainly for like target shooting. I mean, I would look at either, if not a 30-06, a 308 would be my suggestion.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about cost consolidation here.
Oh, I get it.
Because my AR is already 5.56, so I've got.
Well, see, I mean, me and you were talking about it one day. I mean, my next purchase, I've got an AR, but I want an AR-10.
Yeah.
Well, what about M4? No, that's too military.
Huh?
M4.
An M4? Yeah. I mean.
Well, unfortunately, Nate, to get a legal transferable M4 is going to run you anywhere. Last time I checked, 15,000 plus.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, I'm just guessing.
Something tells me Pete doesn't have $15,000 to drop on an M4 at present.
Yeah, I don't. No.
I know we're all internet millionaires, but.
I mean, believe me, there's rifle like I don't even have $1,500 to put on, to spend on a rifle. So I mean, I would like to get like a what's it called? Shit. Now it's like a Marlin lever action gun. Those things are beautiful.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
And you want to actually, if you want to save a little money, go with Henry.
Yeah, but even those are like $1,500, aren't they?
It depends on what you get.
Yeah.
But Henry tends to run a little cheaper than Marlin does. And I mean, Henry's, almost 200-year-old company.
Isn't an M4 just a military AR-15? Yeah, basically.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a military designation for their version of it. But
yeah,
the internals of those weapons are vastly different.
Yep.
They look the same, though.
Here's people think that you can just it's easy as filing down the auto sear on an AR and make it automatic. Well, no, the rest of the internals are not made for fully automatic fire. They can't handle it.
Yeah.
They'll handle it for a little bit, but they're going to fail very quickly.
Yeah, it's not like Call of Duty where you can fire.
That's like people that put switches on Glocks. The internals of the automatic Glock are completely different. The internals on the civilian versions are not made to withstand automatic fire.
Yeah, those people that do that, I mean, you're basically ruining a good gun for no reason. I mean,
Well, number one, it's minimum 10-year felony, but number two, the chances are sky high the thing's going to blow up in your hand.
How do people get away with? Because I mean, people do it on YouTube all the time. They put switches on there. I mean, how do they get away with that?
It's hard to track them down. I mean, how are there 17 of them in any high school in Memphis right now? Fuck, who knows? I mean, you can 3D print the switches.
Yeah.
I mean, because we all know once something's on the internet, you can't get it off completely.
Yeah, it's just talk about a waste of money. I mean, you're burning through fucking $50 in ammo in 2 seconds. I mean,
hey man, listen, I'm not going to knock fully automatic because I've been behind a few fully automatics, including a belt-fed machine gun. Fucking things are fun, man. They really are.
So, you know, the range I go to, Palmetto State Armory here by my house, you can shoot automatic weapons there. Now, you can't bring one in and shoot it. You have to rent it from them, and they have to go in there with you while you shoot it. But I was in there last year sometime. I was in there. I guess it was around Christmas time. And these two guys came in, and they rented 2 automatic weapons. One of them was an Uzi. And the other, I don't know what the other one was a bigger rifle. But anyway, so you have to rent the guns from them, and you have to buy the ammo from them. They won't let you bring your own ammo for it. So I heard how much it cost. They were only in there for probably 10 or 15 minutes shooting these automatic rifles, and their total was over $400. That's how much ammo they went through. And the guy when he was shooting the Uzi, I'm talking about just from like 7 yards away. The target was like 7 yards away. He couldn't even hit the fucking target. It was just spraying everywhere.
Spray.
I was like, holy shit. He had no control.
That's how a lot of it is. That's why, you know, in the real world, automatic weapons are almost useless unless you're just having fun.
Well, I mean, it's good for if you're, you know, trying to shoot a bunch of people. Like, I'm sure if he had like a bunch of targets in front of him, he would hit something. But
yeah, I mean, it's good for suppressive fire, but like, you listen to a lot of like, you know, team guy, Sean Ryan's podcast, for instance. Him and John McPhee got in this conversation, and it's like if anything, 3-round burst is probably the best.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. Yeah. Is that illegal or no?
Well, no, none of it's illegal. It's just, do you have the money and the patience to deal with the ATF?
To get the tax stamp for it or whatever?
Yeah. The 3-round burst M16, yeah.
Huh.
Which actually, that ATF is down to, from what I've heard, they were down under a 3-month. It used to be 6-month waiting period for them to get through all the paperwork. But last I heard, they were down under 3 months.
Well, the tax stamp for the what's it called? What's the for the suppressor? What's it called?
The NFA tax stamp.
Yeah, but there's a common name for it. Anyway, all that is a money racket. That's all it is. I mean, you got to.
Well, and I don't know how it stood up for this long, because it is literally a tax on a right, which under the Constitution is illegal.
Well, yeah, but if you are legal to buy a firearm and use it and own it and shoot it, I don't understand why then you're legal to have a suppressor. So what? Like, again, it's just a money racket. Because and even that's starting to change. Like, the buck is trending on that, because if you go to Kansas, and if you notice, a bunch of suppressor manufacturers have moved to Kansas. Under Kansas law, if you buy from a manufacturer in state, you don't have to go through the federal system. You can buy legally from somebody in state, and it stays in state. But
go to Kansas.
You can't get charged federally for having that?
I guess
are the feds charging anybody for marijuana in Colorado?
I guess if you're not in Kansas, but
Well, see,
I mean, it's one of those. The ATF is not trying to get in the middle of a state law fight.
so but technically they could, but they just stay out of it, like with the weed
Pretty
thing.
much.
Okay.
Yes, it is illegal federally, but they're not getting into trying to fight state law with federal law, and like you said with Colorado.
Yeah.
and it's not worth the fight.
But it's the same thing here in Tennessee. Tennessee convicted felons are allowed to own a rifle or a shotgun. ATF's not getting in the middle of that either, and I've seen that firsthand.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is I was questioned by the ATF, so that's how I've seen it firsthand.
Did they come and knocking on the door or what?
No, they didn't come knocking on the door, but I got a phone call.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I know if you buy more than 2 firearms at one time, then because I bought 2 firearms at one time. I bought an AR and a pistol one day on the same day, and the guy warned me. He said you probably would be okay because of it was a 9mm pistol and an AR, but he said, but don't be surprised if you get a knock on the door. If you buy multiple firearms, sometimes they'll pay you a visit. But they didn't.
Yeah, I've got a visit from that. I did the same thing. Like, I heard about it. So me being me, let's see if this is true.
Let's see if say what now?
I said, me being me, I decided to see if it was true.
Oh, but they didn't.
Well, no, they didn't knock on the door, but I got a phone call. And the only reason I didn't get a knock on the door is because, like, I already have a few suppressors. So, like, I'm on a first name basis with the guy down in the ATF office in Memphis.
Now, my question is, if they did come knock on the door, I mean, are you required to show them your shit, or can you just tell them to fuck off?
No, you can tell them to fuck off.
Okay.
You don't even have to answer the door.
Well, yeah, but once you do answer the door and they say, "Hey, I want to see your rifle, your guns or whatever," I just don't know, like the law. I guess they would.
It's the same thing for federal law that it is for the police in your town.
They got
Sure, they can't. They have to have a warrant to come in your house.
Yeah, right.
What's that probable cause? Yeah.
I mean, I would never let him in my house without a warrant anyway, even if I, am obeying the law, just out of principle. But
no, I'm with you. I don't let them in either without a warrant.
Yeah. They notify the local sheriff, is what Nature Boy says. Okay. Oh. I mean,
that's something that could vary by state.
I understand if you go into a gun store or whatever and you buy 10 guns, maybe somebody probably should check on that person. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not illegal.
I don't have a problem with them. I mean, if it makes you curious, okay, fine. I mean, your job is to be curious. So whatever. I'm not faulting you for that. But I'm also not going to help you do your job either.
Also, since it's not illegal to buy 10 guns at one time, but I know a lot of gun stores won't sell you more than 2 or 3 at a time.
I don't know. I've never tried to buy more than 2 ever. I mean, once again, we're all internet millionaires, but I'll be honest. I don't have the money to go buy 10 guns at once.
Right.
Yeah. The only gun I can handle is a Nerf gun, which is sad.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing, Nate. That's probably a good thing.
That was funny.
But yeah.
Yeah, a paintball gun. Nate, hey, Nate, have you ever played paintball before?
I have.
Yeah.
Those.
Dude, let me tell you something. Those motherfuckers can hurt. A lot.
My brother-in-law got banned from there's a paintball place not far from where I live, and my brother-in-law got banned. They kicked him out of there.
Oh yeah, he told me your story.
Yeah, it's funny. He, you know how it's like teams on each side, and what he did as soon as they blew the whistle to start the game or whatever, he went around the perimeter, and there's like a ditch that runs along the perimeter. I mean, to talk about full commando style. He ran down that ditch, came up behind them, and just peppered every last one of them with an automatic paintball rifle, and they kicked him out. Shooting him in the back.
Hey, man, keep your head on a swivel. That's like them blindside blocks, man. I'm not in favor of it either. If you can't keep your head on a swivel, you deserve to get your head knocked off.
I thought that was funny. But some of those people,
I've seen a video on YouTube, something like that. It was like the best paintball team in the world or whatever against a squad of like Army Rangers.
Yeah.
And the fucking Rangers just slaughtered them.
Oh, of course. But people that are into paintball, the amount of money they spend on those paintball rifles is ridiculous.
Oh, it is.
I mean, there's like $3,000 and $4,000 paintball guns. I was like, what?
I mean, I've seen paintball guns, to your point, that cost just as much as high-end actual guns.
Yeah, and they're serious about that shit too, man. I mean, if I went to go play paintball, I just rent a gun and play and give it back to them. I'm not. If I'm spending $2,000 or $3,000 on a gun, it's going to be a real one, not a paintball gun.
Yeah. I played paintball once, and yes, it did hurt, but I haven't held a real gun before, but it kind of felt like a real gun, but with paintballs. I mean.
Yeah, and they get optics on their guns. I mean, they treat it like they're really going to war.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Sir UJ wants to know, what's the Monday Night Football bet? Let's find out. I don't even know who plays tonight, Vic. Do you know?
Falcons?
I don't know.
Where's Vic at? Is he in here still? He's the NFL guy.
Vic is here, but maybe he went to the bathroom.
Okay.
Maybe he's crying because the Falcons lost.
Well, hold on now. There's not a game tonight.
There's no Monday Night Football?
No.
Well, right. We're to playoff time. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Sir UJ, what are you talking about? There is no game. I mean, I guess you bet on whoever's not playing, which is everybody. There's the playoffs start next Saturday, which is why I think the college games are on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
So next Saturday,
college should go up head-to-head against NFL. I mean, NFL viewership has been down year over year, and college football viewership is on the rise.
Well, although they had head-to-head on the first round of the playoffs this year on that Saturday, the day of Colby's wedding, and the NFL viewership was higher than the college football playoff was for a regular season NFL game.
Wow.
So
that's sad.
I think a lot of people knew how the opening round of the playoffs was going to go, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like wild card weekend, viewership isn't particularly high.
Right.
Well, the main reason,
for the most part, those are teams that aren't going to win it.
The viewership is always going to be higher in the NFL because the teams that are playing in college are usually small towns, small market teams, and you got all the biggest cities in the country all have NFL teams. So, like nobody in New York City gives a shit about college football. I say nobody, but most people don't.
Well, no, college football is definitely more popular in the South, without a doubt.
Let's see. So next Saturday we got the Chargers against the Texans made the play. I guess they won their division. The Steelers and the Ravens. Steelers are dog shit, by the way. So I don't know why anybody would bet on them for anything.
Yeah, there is no football tonight.
The Steelers game the other night, that might be the worst football game I've ever seen in my life.
What was it?
It was so bad. The Steelers, I can't believe they're in the playoffs. How do they win 10 games, Vic?
I don't know.
Luck?
Well, that's like for 10 years straight, how did somebody from the NFC East make the playoffs? I mean, the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Giants, and the welcome back Redskins,
I mean, I guess
we're all fucking terrible.
It wasn't because of their offense, so it must be.
It was definitely their offense was awful, Vic. I mean,
it must be their defense then.
it's got to be. Their offense was dog shit, man. Russell Wilson, God bless him, he needs to go ahead and retire. He sucks now. He's terrible.
Yeah, I'll give Mike Tomlin this. You realize he's never had a season with a losing record?
Yeah. Well, he ain't winning no Super Bowl with that offense he's got now and Russell Wilson. Jeez.
No, it's going to end up. Justin Fields will end up being the guy. I think Justin Fields is pretty good.
Hey,
It's kind of when he's gotten in, he's kind of shown it wasn't a him problem; it was a Bears problem.
Yeah, it was a Bear problem.
Well, why is Russell Wilson playing then?
Because I don't know. I guess
For the same reason Kirk Cousins was playing most of the year, because they kind of had to because of what they were paying him.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, the Ravens are favored by 9.5 points, and they'll probably win by 30.
Well, at least the Steelers have Kenny Pickett still.
I called it preseason, and it's looking that way. Baker Mayfield's going to be hoisting that Lombardi Trophy come the end.
I don't know. Do you remember who I picked to win the Super Bowl preseason?
No.
I picked
Deshaun Watson and the Browns.
No, that was Volusia did that. I didn't.
Oh, that's right.
I picked the Ravens, and I'm still sticking with that. I still think they're going to win it. I think they got the best team.
Baker Mayfield, baby. And how about Mike Evans tying Jerry Rice's record for 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons?
That's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get the consensus here. Will we see Aaron Rodgers in the NFL next season?
No.
Yes.
I think we will.
Yes. Will he be?
Now, it may not be with the Jets, but he'll be in the NFL.
I say no.
Will it be with the Jets? Yeah.
Well, if you watch
He's
that,
not going to walk away from that fat contract.
yeah, if you watch that documentary, the Aaron Rodgers documentary, which is worth watching, by the way, if you haven't seen it, it's pretty funny. But anyway, he says in that documentary that he plans on playing for at least another 2 or 3 years. Now, I don't know if he'll last that long physically, but that's what he wants to do.
I think he's going to finish out that contract, and that'll be it.
So in that documentary, does he tell us about the psychedelics?
Oh yeah, you get to watch him go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to watch him go in the hut and drink the ayahuasca. Yep.
All right. So where can I find this documentary?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but just if you probably just go in there and search Aaron Rodgers or say, I'm sure it'll come up.
Probably.
Yeah.
I say no because he's probably going to go back to the dark arts, but that's what just my opinion.
Yeah. Y'all know that Aaron Rodgers is now the most sacked quarterback in NFL history.
Well, that's not surprising. I mean, how old is he? Like 41?
Yeah, he broke.
I don't think he's that old.
He broke Tom Brady's record.
Yeah, he's over 40.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay. I thought he was just shy of it, like 38, 39.
Well, he got his 500th career touchdown yesterday.
Yeah, he did that too, yeah.
A passing touchdown, not rushing.
He's only the third quarterback to have.
Yeah, he's in third. Yeah. Who's the leader? Is it Brady?
Gotta be.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. I know he's the leader in interceptions, but
I thought Brett Favre was. He break that record?
yeah, he did.
Okay.
Who did? Deshaun Watson did?
Last year.
Sven says Drew Brees is the leader in passing touchdowns.
Oh, wow.
That makes
Brady
sense.
passed him.
Oh, Brady passed him?
Yes, Brady passed him.
Okay.
Because he was in the Bucks, I think. But I got the Lions winning it all, but that's just my bias.
And just Lions. Yeah, I think it'll be the Lions and the Bills in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
No, you're both wrong. It may be the Bills. It's either going to be the Bills or the Ravens against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I don't see. I'd be shocked if the Ravens don't end up in the Super Bowl. I mean, that rushing attack between Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And that's kind of why I hope it's the Ravens, because Tampa, as per usual, has one of the best rushing defenses in the league.
Yeah.
How dumb are the Tennessee Titans for letting Derrick Henry get out of there?
That's
Well,
Not only did they let Derrick Henry get out, but they thought Will Levis was going to be a good quarterback.
Yeah, they're about as bad as the Falcons as far as the front office goes. Holy shit.
Whew.
they let him
Yeah,
get
and
out.
now they're talking about taking Shador over Cam Ward, so you're not getting any smarter.
Did you see the news report? I don't know. I can't remember the exact source, but apparently most of the NFL front office GMs aren't even giving Shador Sanders a first round grade.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they're basically saying he just benefited from having Travis Hunter on the team, and he's not really that good of a quarterback. Now, I'm not enough of a genius to know whether he is a first round talent or not, but that's what they say.
I mean, I'm not sure. Like, some people just said he was garbage. Listen, I don't think Shador is a bad college quarterback.
No, he's not.
But I think I do agree with their opinion that I don't think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback.
Well, a lot of his passing yards came from throwing 50-50 balls up to Travis Hunter.
They did.
And that's not going to work in the NFL.
No.
And that was kind of my critique on Colorado. Like, I had to, and I ate my crow because I didn't think that they would have as good of a record as they did. But my opinion of it is still, if you're one injury away from not winning another game, are you a good football team?
Not really.
No. But, in fairness, like, you could say that about all the Brady teams. I mean, without Brady, would they be, would the Patriots have been what they were? No.
Well, they still would have won some because they had a remarkable offensive line.
Yeah.
And there were years where they had really, really good defenses.
Yeah, I know. I get all that, but
Won a couple.
Like, okay, you can make the argument, yeah, they wouldn't have won it all, but they weren't an injury away. Like, they went 3-1 without Brady with Garoppolo.
that's true. Yeah.
Like, they're not an injury away from not winning another football game.
Right.
Yes, probably don't win 6 Super Bowls. Maybe Belichick wins like.
But
3.
see, here's where I'll push back because let's say the Ravens, for example. I think they're a Super Bowl caliber team. Without Lamar Jackson, though, they'd probably have a hard time winning a game.
Right, but when I say good team, like, Clemson's not going 0-12 without Cade Klubnik.
Yeah, take the best player.
Without Shador or Travis Hunter, Colorado's going 1-11, 0-12. We've seen it.
Exactly. Take the best player off any team, and they're not as good.
Well, particularly the quarterback, yeah.
Right, but that's not my argument. Whether or not they're going to be as good, because that's obvious. You're not going to be as good.
Right.
But Colorado was one injury away from not winning another football game.
It's kind of like when they say that, you wouldn't have won those 2 national championships without Brock Bowers. Yeah, but we had Brock Bowers.
Yeah, well, of course.
Well, actually, according to Twitter, you wouldn't have won those 2 national championships if it wasn't for players getting injured for Alabama. So now they've been running around for weeks calling Georgia fraudulent.
That too, but didn't have. I mean, that's not our fault.
Yeah.
I mean, they were both non-contact injuries. So.
Oh, I agree with you. I'm just pointing out the vast amounts of copium being spread around by the Alabama fan base.
It's that artificial turf. But
people have been saying that about Clemson. Well, he wouldn't have won 2 national championships. You didn't have Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. Well, no shit.
Yeah, no shit.
But I mean, Auburn wouldn't have won without Cam Newton. Florida wouldn't have won without Tim Tebow.
Yeah, we wouldn't have won.
Because that's not true about Clemson because, yes, Deshaun Watson's great, Trevor Lawrence is great, but you had some of the best defenses of the past 20 years.
Yeah, especially the 8.
You had some great wide receivers as well.
Yeah, NFL wide receivers, they're still playing in the NFL. I mean, maybe the best defensive line in the past 30 years in that 2018 team, Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins and Austin Bryant. I mean, all those guys are still playing in the NFL. I mean, Dexter Lawrence is the best defensive tackle in all of the NFL. right now.
So actually, you can't say for certainty without those quarterbacks that they don't win those national titles.
Exactly.
The chances of it go down, yes, but they had great. The rest of the team was great along with those players.
Yeah, it was though. But the 2016 national championship with Deshaun Watson, I don't think they win that game without him.
No.
Well, that one I agree with you.
Now the Trevor Lawrence one's a little bit different because that 18 defense was
Kelly
all
Bryant
time.
Very well could have still carried that team to the national title and won it.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
Bryant didn't get benched. Y'all wouldn't have won that.
Well, he got benched and he was 4-0 too. And hell, the year before that, he took Clemson to the playoffs, 12-0 undefeated regular season, and just lost to Alabama in the playoffs.
Not
right.
Y'all lost to Syracuse.
He was Kelly Bryant started. He started 14 games in 2017. He went 13-1, and then he went 4-0 the next season. So he was 17-1 as a starter.
No, he went 12-2 because remember the Syracuse loss.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. You're right.
During the regular season.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but they still won the ACC. So he would have been 16-2 as a starter, Kelly Bryant.
Yeah, your only undefeated season was 2018.
Yeah. Well, no. Hold on now.
Y'all didn't have an undefeated season in 16.
No,
Y'all lost to Pitt that year.
That's right. You're right.
lost. Yep.
No.
And then
What about 2019? Did they go 12-0 in 2019? Where's my Tiger fans at? I can't remember years. I'm bad with years.
yes, y'all did. Yes.
Yes, y'all did.
Okay.
But y'all didn't win the Natty.
Right.
Right. To LSU. Yeah.
Yeah, lost to LSU.
And then in 15, y'all are also 12-0.
Yes, I do remember that. And lost the Natty to Alabama. Oh. What do y'all think about these games this week? So I'm picking Notre Dame to beat Penn State. I'm seeing more people pick Penn State than Notre Dame for some reason.
No, I've already I called my shot before, and I'm sticking with it. Kind of like you with the Ravens. From the looks of it, we're looking at Ohio State, Notre Dame, Natty.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
That'd be a great matchup, though.
We're looking at Ohio State winning the Natty. Yeah.
Well, I think everybody is.
I don't know, man. If they can keep it up, yes, but whether or not they can keep it up is the question.
Well, the only team I think even has a chance to compete with Ohio State right now is probably Notre Dame. Well, first of all, we've already seen Ohio State and Penn State play, and we already know who won that. Texas has no shot.
Game, though.
There's no way Texas is winning the whole thing. I mean,
no. If they do, that'll be shocking.
I'm gonna be honest. Arizona State got screwed royally.
They did, yeah.
They got hosed, yeah.
That would have been a better matchup. But even then, I don't think Arizona State's good enough to beat Ohio State. I mean, it's a one-man show with Scatterboo. But yeah,
I mean, they only have to be better that one day.
That's true.
Yeah. That's the only good. Great game.
And here's the thing: we've seen Ohio State all season long. Like, they're obviously getting hot at the right time. But the question still remains: can they sustain it?
Right.
Yeah, they're just so much more talented than everybody else. But I do think I think that Notre Dame, if they play their best game of the year, they'll at least give Ohio State a run. I don't know if they can win it though.
Yeah, they will. They're the best, I guess, candidate for, playing against Ohio State.
Yeah, and that's really Ohio State's only real weakness on defense is a runaround quarterback like Riley Leonard is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Leonard would have to play out of his mind to beat Ohio State, but it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was about the only real thing that Tennessee was able to do offensively was when Nico was doing the whole runaround thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that rushing for attack for Notre Dame is legit. I mean, between Leonard and Love and who's the other one? What's his name? Price?
Price.
Yeah.
Xavier Betts. He's on the defense. Never mind.
Yeah, and listen, it's state law being a Miami fan that I have to hate Notre Dame, but that's a team to be fucked with right now.
I kind of hope they do win it, the whole thing. I mean, I don't want Ohio State to win, even though I think they're going to. Obviously, I don't like Ohio State, but
I'd rather see Notre Dame than.
Yeah, out of all the teams that are left, I mean, I guess I wouldn't be mad at Penn State just because they haven't won it in so long. But
yeah.
And I don't hate Texas either. I just don't think they're very good. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm not saying they're bad. Obviously, they're in the playoffs and in the Final Four, but I don't. Texas is not one of the best 4 teams in the country. They're not.
They're okay, but they're not good.
Yeah, they were a product of their schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute now. I was told there are no easy schedules in the SEC.
No, you were told wrong, Slim.
Oh.
Not according to these SEC homers.
Hold on now. Yeah, do you know who had the worst strength of schedule in all of the SEC?
Texas.
Probably Missouri.
Nope.
Texas.
Nope.
Georgia?
Nope.
No.
Oh. Auburn.
I don't know.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Oh.
Ole Miss. Okay. Yeah. Well, that was the other one though. Ole Miss, Missouri were the two I heard in the off season, and then once the season got to come around and they were winning, then it started. Then the talk shifted over to Texas got an easy schedule.
Did you
Which I
see?
think it's just a convenient excuse for a Big 12 team coming in and dominating the so-called tough SEC.
I think we talked about this on the midday show on Friday, but did y'all see Lane Kiffin embarrass himself again?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I did.
God almighty. There's something wrong with that guy.
He thinks because he beat half the Duke team that played during the regular season
And he
in the playoffs.
Yeah, and he had all of his starters in there, including Jackson Dart, and played them all the way through the game, even though they're winning by 4 and 5 touchdowns. I mean, it's just that's embarrassing.
Yeah,
Which Mario Cristobal can't do.
He was still trying to score when they were up by 4 touchdowns with 10 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, come on.
That's like.
What are you talking about, Nate? Mario Cristobal can't do. We had plenty of starters play throughout that game.
No, well, I meant like bowl game. But yeah.
We had plenty of starters play all throughout that bowl game. So what are you talking about?
Cam Ward. I mean.
Okay, there's one that didn't.
Xavier. Yeah.
So 12 starters played all throughout the game, but one makes it to where he can't. Make it make sense, Nate.
Well, I'm just saying in general, but I mean, I get your point.
Well, in general, you're wrong.
All right.
I do.
In general, you're wrong. I'm going to use that one. That's good.
I can get back to that.
I mean, over half the starters played the entire game. We had 12 starters in for that game.
I mean, congratulations. Here's your trophy.
The Oregon fan now wants there to be the best of 3.
What?
Yeah.
I saw that.
You saw that guy on Twitter. That guy, he's either a troll or he's a fucking moron. I can't tell. I think he's just a moron.
Maybe both. I don't know.
I was assuming a troll, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I clicked on his profile and looked at all of his tweets, and I think he's just a moron. I don't.
He's a moron.
Yeah, I don't think he's smart enough to troll that good. Yeah, the Homer. Yeah, exactly, Nick. Yeah, that's his name. Oregon or Duck Homer or Homer something Homer.
Something Homer. Yeah.
That's plain.
Oh, I reposted something that he posted, talking about that first. What was it? Talking about Oregon went undefeated, but the other teams had losses, so one loss shouldn't knock Oregon out of it or some shit.
Well, it's hard to tell where his mind's at, because in one breath he says they should do best out of 3 because they already beat Ohio State, so it's not fair. And that's his actual terminology, was it's not fair. And then in another tweet he said something about if a team goes undefeated and wins their conference, then they should automatically be crowned the national champion without having to play in the playoffs. But if you do have one loss, then you have to play. I don't know. He's all over the place.
Yeah, life's not fair, my friend.
He thinks you should crown the national champion if they're undefeated, but let the playoffs still happen for second place.
Well, what happens if you have 4 undefeated conference champions?
I don't know, Slim.
True.
The guy doesn't. I mean, talk about copium. Holy shit, man! You lost. Sorry.
Listen, I get it, man. These Oregon fans, they have the most unironic logo in all of college football, and it's not going to change anytime soon.
And 0 national titles.
That's what I mean by most unironic logo. Now.
The worst part was if you go read the replies of these tweets. I mean, most of the Oregon fans are on there saying, "Dude, you're embarrassing us, our fan base. Shut the fuck up. You know, just move on." But there's actually a bunch of people in there that are agreeing with them. That's even more scary.
That's even more sad.
You're like, "Yeah, you're right." I'm like, "What?"
Oh no.
No, you're not.
Oregon fans.
Well, and I'm also seeing now, from people that aren't happy with the 12-team playoff. Well, we need to go down to 2 conferences, do it just like the NFL. 2 conferences and 16 teams in the playoff. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, this guy wants the college kids to have to play like 30 games or something. I don't know. I mean, best of 3. If you did best of 3 in every round of the playoffs, how many games does that add?
You know what I keep hearing too, and I find this funny, and nobody can explain how they'll do it other than just saying they'll do it because they want to. That college football is going to break away from the NCAA.
Yeah.
Just college football.
I don't know how that would work.
I don't either. I was like, it sounds really good. It actually doesn't even sound good in theory. But even if you tried to get into it, just say for the sake of argument you did make it happen. What do people think is going to change? Because at the end of the day, these schools still have to play nice with the NCAA because the NCAA owns March Madness, the College World Series, and literally every other college sport.
Yep.
Right. Did you see what James Franklin said about Saban?
I have not.
He thinks that they should make Nick Saban the commissioner of college football. And that he should decide the structure of the playoffs.
No.
Now, first of all, the NCAA has nothing to do with the college football playoff. That's a separate entity.
Right.
So I don't know how that would change if Nick Saban was the commissioner of college football. I mean, I don't disagree that there probably should be somebody making decisions.
Well, yeah, it's called the president of the NCAA.
Yeah.
But, and from best I can tell, this is just what it looks like to me. A lot of the shit going on is intentional. I think the NCAA is basically like, you know how I said, give California everything they want. That way they'll see how bad it all is.
Yeah.
I think that's what the NCAA is doing.
You think they're trolling us?
Seriously. I think they're giving people exactly what they want so they can see what kind of shit show it is. And they'll be like, this is why we have rules in place. Stop suing every time shit doesn't go the way you like it to go.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing it intentionally. I think they're just going along with the money grab deal. The more playoff games.
I think is like this whole shit with JUCO not counting towards your eligibility is dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're really on the verge of getting fucking 30-year-olds in college football.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to go well. What you're going to end up having with NIL now and being able to pay players, if you do that JUCO thing, what you're going to have is a bunch of 4- and 5-star guys going to JUCO instead of Power 5 schools.
Yeah, it's going to completely destroy high school recruiting. Because what do you want? Do you want a guy that spent 3 years in JUCO getting developed even more and a whole lot of game experience, or do you want a high school a freshman right out of high school that, he may be a Jeremiah Smith if you're lucky. If you're not, he's still going to need a year of polish.
Well, if you're let's say you're a 5-star player who obviously has aspirations to go to the NFL, the easier route would be just to go the JUCO route because your talent's not changing just because you're playing on a JUCO team. You have less chance of getting hurt. And then after 2 or 3 years in JUCO, it's not counting against your eligibility. What you can do is say, okay, do I have a first-round grade even though I'm in JUCO? No. All right, well, I'm transferring to Alabama, and I get 4 more years there to get a first-round grade. So
that was a genius idea right there.
Yeah, I think this is terrible for college football. I really do.
yeah, I don't know why they're always trying to fix something that's not broken. It's the same thing with the
Well, no, that's because of Diego Pavia, that fucking quarterback from Vanderbilt. He wanted more time.
Huh?
That's what that comes back to.
Yeah. Well, even with the transfer thing, like I understand the argument. I understand both sides of the argument. You know how it used to be, you had to sit out a year if you transferred.
Well, it used to be you had to get a waiver if you didn't want to sit out.
Yeah. And then basically they just went to complete, instead of saying, okay, well, maybe you can transfer once, right? Didn't they do that too? You could transfer once, but that's it. And then if you transfer a second time, you have to sit out a year. And then it just went to a free-for-all with, you can transfer 4 times if you want.
And now, granted, this is somebody on Twitter, so I don't know how true this is, but somebody had said that the NCAA is bringing back you get 1 transfer, and after that, you sit out, no questions asked.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
I think that would stop a lot of the transfers, yeah, or not stop all of them, but it would slow it down a little bit.
It would stop these guys that are going to 3 and 4 schools.
Yeah.
They let you. It used to be that you also did not have to sit out if you graduated from your previous.
Well,
a graduate transfer.
Sticking around, like graduate transfers, you've never had to sit out.
Yeah, and that's fine. If you graduate, if you fulfill your obligation to the university, I have no problem with you leaving at all and going wherever you want to go.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And also that incentivizes guys to stay and graduate.
It does. Because, as much as Uncle Lou rants that nobody cares about guys graduating, well, you should. Because literally over 99% of these guys are never going to take a snap of football after college.
Well, he's definitely right that the average fan doesn't care, but everybody else cares. I mean, or they should.
So that you can get a good job after college.
Well, I don't think it's a good thing for society at large.
And that was Dabo's whole point about the professionalization of college athletics. You know, when he made that statement, maybe I'll just coach the NFL if they professionalize college sports. That he wasn't really threatening to leave. He was trying to make a point. And now what you're seeing is exactly what he said was going to happen has happened. And now what you see is all these other coaches like Saban and a lot of others who are basically saying the same thing Dabo Swinney said 5 years ago about what's going on. So, I mean, that ran Nick Saban off. That's why he's gone.
It did.
I mean, Nick Saban's, I know he's old, but he's got plenty of good coaching years left in him. But he didn't want to deal with it. And I don't blame him.
What do you think Bobby Bowden would say about this mess?
He'd probably have the same opinion that Dabo had.
Probably. Yeah. Dadgummit.
Yeah. Transfer portal's out of hand. Yeah, well.
Well, and you would think that it would have gotten to a point with literally a couple of thousand players in there with nowhere to go. You would think that enough people can look at that and go, maybe it's not in my best interest.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do, there's nothing you can do to fix this, but a lot of it has to do with the advice. When you introduce the amount of money that's being thrown around in college football now, they're not taking advice from people who have their best interests at heart. They're agents, and a lot of time their own family members because they want to get that check.
Oh, sure. People got, I said this in a Twitter space, and people got fucking pissed at me that there are a lot of parents out there looking at their kids as a come up.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that. I mean, A prime example of that is Big Dave, DJ's dad.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Well, that was something else people got mad at me on Twitter about. I said the same thing you did. If you cannot, and I get it. Like, I don't know how well I would handle the criticism that some of these people, say on the internet about my kid. Then get the fuck off the internet.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand. I wouldn't want to read all that shit about my kid either, but he puts himself in that situation where he's on Twitter Spaces arguing with people, threatening to kill him and shit. Like, I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
He thinks he's a gangster or something.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I get it to an extent. Like, I don't know how I would deal with that if people on the internet are talking shit about my kid.
But at some point, you just have to realize that is what it is, and people are going to criticize your kid whether you like it or not. I mean, arguing with faceless people on the internet over your kid is just. I mean, you're not going to win that. You're eventually
just tried to make the argument to me that Dave wouldn't have had a problem if people were respectful about it. Well, yes, if the world wasn't full of assholes, we would all have a Merry fucking Christmas. But the world's full of assholes. Hate to break that news to you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't understand because my kid's not in that situation, but maybe I would be arguing with people. But
Peete definitely would.
At some point, though, you gotta say, okay, forget my feelings about it. I don't want to embarrass my kid.
Right.
And that's what he's doing.
I mean, it should tell you something when your own kids have blocked you on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I guarantee you, if Repete's a 5-star athlete coming out of high school, he's gonna have Mrs. Peete blocked on all over the internet.
Yeah, who the funny one that I follow is T. Higgins, his mom, on Twitter.
Yeah,
she argues with fans every week on the internet. So.
Dude, I was in this space with funny enough TriStar one time. This was a while back. And who's that Auburn quarterback that transferred to South Carolina?
Robbie Ashford.
Robbie Ashford.
Yeah.
This Auburn fan, somehow Robbie Ashford's mom ended up in this space. And this drunk Auburn fan went off on Robbie Ashford to his mom.
It hasn't happened to me. I know Uncle Lou's talked about it. He got an email from a player's mom one time. And he basically just told her, well, if you fucking don't like it, then don't listen to my channel, I mean,
right.
No one's making you listen to what I say about your kid. It's not my job to pat your kid on the head. But also, Rec Talk has said he's got contacted by players' parents before, Georgia Tech players' parents.
I've had talks with Rec Talk. Like, here's the thing. And I think this goes for all parents. And really, this kind of goes back to something I've said about the players too. You are in a very privileged position being a college football player in America, especially if you're at an SEC school, ACC school, any of the power conferences. And it ain't all sunshine and rainbows. You have to take the bad with the good.
Yeah. I mean, if you are a professional athlete or even a college athlete, you're a public figure. I mean,
yep.
And it's no different than a politician. I mean, people are going to criticize everything you do. I mean, even on a small scale YouTube channel like mine, people criticize me all the time. But I just don't give a shit because I don't know those people.
Right.
If my friends criticize me, I might take some offense to it. But if I don't know you, sorry. If you don't like it.
Not sorry.
Yeah. I mean, fuck yourself. Really. Oh.
I mean, I have a hard time sympathizing with that because, I mean, as we all know, I'm above criticism.
Yeah. I say it all the time. I only care about people who care about me.
That's right.
That's it.
That's a very good way of putting it.
Yeah. It's a pretty simple life lesson.
Nick Saban said it too. Why do you care what somebody types on the internet from their grandmother's basement?
Yeah.
Well, and I think for somebody in Nick Saban's position, he can say that now. You can't say that as a coach. Because, like, here, you have to, in my opinion, the coach has to walk a fine line with it, because you're in that being a public figure, like a, musician, like an actor, you rely on your fans.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's the same people that say, and the Barstool people do this all the time. I saw it after the Georgia game against Notre Dame. The Georgia whoever runs the Georgia Barstool channel is, tweeting out how many Notre Dame fans actually went to Notre Dame. They're like, who cares?
How many Georgia fans went?
Oh my God! That's like telling me because I'm not from Dade County that I'm not a real Miami fan.
Yeah, I hear that. Everyone hears that. People come in my chat during the live streams. Pete, did you go to Clemson? No. Oh yeah, well that checks out. Well, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? I mean, all right, let's only let the alumni in the games. You play at a high school stadium then.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck are you talking about? You know how many tens of thousands of dollars in my life I've spent on on being a fan of Clemson?
A lot.
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, that's more that fan police shit.
Yeah, the fan police. Where's my fan police stinger? Can't find it.
I tried to set you up, man.
All right, here you go.
Warning, fan police en route.
Squidtar says the fan police ain't got shit on him. Yeah, because he goes to Tennessee. But hey, Squid,
right.
What about, so did you just become a fan 2 years ago when you started going to Tennessee, or were you a fan before that? Because you can't be.
You didn't go to UT, you can't be a real fan.
Yeah. Didn't you go to a junior college before that? Squidtar has been a proud Tennessee fan for 2 years.
Well, I've never attended the University of Miami, and I've been wearing Miami gear since before I was old enough to even realize I was wearing Miami gear.
I'm a fan of the Navy midshipmen. I'm not in the Navy.
Much less even went to Naval Academy.
Yeah, I didn't go to the Naval Academy.
Now, is that an exception? Like, if you're in the Army, it's okay to be a fan of Army, even though you didn't go to West Point?
Yeah.
I don't know what the rules are.
So I think that if you were in the Army or in the Navy or in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what about the people that are in Space Force? Who do they get to root for?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
What about the Coast Guard? Do they have? They actually do have a football team, don't they?
Yeah, Coast Guard. Yeah, they're like D3, I think.
Yeah. But are you allowed to be a fan of Army if you're in the Coast Guard?
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
I think you're allowed to be a fan of Navy. I think
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because of the boats and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, we don't make the rules. Yeah.
Kind of like that cousin twice removed.
Let me ask you this. Are you allowed to be a fan of the Cowboys if you're not from Dallas?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah,
Well, I technically never lived in Tampa.
There's lots of Cowboys
Well,
all over the place. They're everywhere.
I'm not. I've never lived in North Carolina. I'm a Panthers fan. How does that work?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to be a Cowboys fan if you never slept with a Cowboys cheerleader?
No. Of course not. My dad was a huge San Francisco 49ers fan when I was growing up. My dad's not from California, by the way. But do you know why he was a fan of the 49ers?
No.
Because two of his favorite players played for the 49ers, Joe Montana and Steve Young.
Okay, so he was a...
he was a fan of Steve Young and Joe Montana, really, is what he was.
So he was a bandwagon 49ers fan.
Yes. Yeah, so after Steve Young left and Colin Kaepernick eventually came in there, he was no longer a 49ers fan. Now, that's heresy.
That is. Well, no, it's okay if you're an Alex Smith fan. That makes it okay.
Oh.
Maybe. Then again, it might not. I don't know. We need somebody to come in here and tell us the rules.
A lot of people are like that, though. Like, they don't really have an NFL team, but they just like certain players on certain teams. Like, I'm that way right now. I like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is my favorite NFL player that's still playing right now. But I'm not a Jets fan. But I like to see Aaron Rodgers do well just because I like him.
Well, I'm not a Titans fan, but I like Steve McNair.
Yeah. Right. Am I allowed to be a fan of nobody if I live in Atlanta? Yes. Well, why would you be a Falcons fan?
Well, that's actually preferable if you live in Atlanta. That's called a good life choice.
Yeah, you can only be an SMU fan if you're a Cowboys fan. Now that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah,
somehow.
That makes perfect sense.
Only be an SMU fan if you're Methodist.
Actually, the Carolina Panthers were genius, but I think they kind of needed it, though. Whenever they became an expansion team in 1995, Charlotte's not a big market for NFL. So they knew they needed both of the Carolinas. That's why they didn't call themselves the North Carolina Panthers or the Charlotte Panthers. They called it the Carolina Panthers, and their slogan was 2 states, 1 team.
Yeah.
So
I don't think either state has a big enough market to carry the team.
Well, South Carolina definitely doesn't. Charlotte barely does, but they needed both North and South Carolina fans to support that franchise, and so it was a pretty genius move by them by doing that. And also, they hold their training camp in Spartanburg, South Carolina, every year. But that's why I became a Panthers fan, because there's no professional sports teams in the state of South Carolina.
Right.
So,
well, other than the Bobcats.
What's that?
Or are they in North Carolina too?
Yeah.
The NBA team.
Yeah, there's no NBA team in South Carolina.
The Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
Oh, did they go back to the Hornets? I thought they went to the Bobcats.
No, when Michael Jordan bought the team, he made them the Hornets again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it shows how much I pay attention.
The Baltimore Bullets? I don't even know who that is.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
What is that? Is that a hockey team?
Hockey. I mean, if I haven't heard of them, then it's probably hockey.
Oh, it's a basketball team? See? Shows what I know. Do they play against the Globetrotters or something? What is that?
They played the Savannah Bananas in an exhibition, I'm sure. That's what we need, the Savannah Bananas against the Harlem Globetrotters and some kind of mutant exhibition.
Okay, Jackpot says that it was the Washington Bullets, and then they changed to the Wizards. See, that shows you what I know about the NBA. I have no idea.
Okay, they're the
is that who Michael Jordan played for when he came back after retirement?
They were the Wizards when he came back.
They were the Wizards when he came back? Okay. When did that transition happen from the Bullets to the Wizards? What year was that?
I don't know.
Well, speaking of the jackpots in here, he's going on the cruise. Would it be heresy if the Clemson Pete, drafted Carolina Jackpot on my team, or should I let Lou draft him?
No, I don't think that would be heresy.
It wouldn't be.
I mean, Rob is a Clemson man, and he does a show with Carolina Jackpot.
Yeah,
so.
That's true. Would Carolina Jackpot?
They're all's fair in love and war. You're just trying to win. So if Carolina Jackpot makes you win, then
yeah. I'm definitely I'll set aside fandom as far as I want to take home the trophy for the team. But here's the thing: would Carolina Jackpot be upset if Pigskin Pete did draft him?
No.
I don't know about upset, but perturbed is a high likelihood.
Touche.
At least a little bit perturbed.
He probably didn't listen to the first part of the show. He probably has no idea what I'm talking about.
Probably not.
He says as long as he doesn't get picked last like he always did in kickball. What if
something tells me there's no correlation between kickball and the Slob Olympics. So what leads you to get picked last in kickball is liable to get you picked first in the Slob Olympics.
Yeah, what if I shocked the world and made my first overall pick Carolina Jackpot? Boy.
I think that would be the Slob equivalent draft equivalent to the Falcons taking Kyle Pitts in the first round. or the Colts taking,
so what you're saying is Carolina Jackpot,
Richardson.
Are you saying Jackpot's not worthy of a first round pick?
Well, it depends on your criteria. I don't know what Pete's criteria is.
Yeah. If he was getting a draft grade, what would it be?
I don't know. I mean, we have to delve into what your criteria is.
I definitely think he's definitely at least a top 3 rounder. I don't think he's like an 8th rounder or anything.
Okay, so he's a day 2 guy.
Day 2 guy, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Which is nothing to sneeze at. That's not an insult. Hell, I'm probably not even a second round guy.
Yeah, well, I don't think you're Mr. Irrelevant either, though.
No. Hell, I've finished in the top 3 of the Slob Olympics 3 times. Well, no. Wait, hold on now. The first year I didn't even crack the top 10. I think I was like 12. The second year I finished in the top 3. I was 3rd place in Pigeon Forge. In Charleston, I was 3rd place. So that's 2 top 3 finishes. And what did I finish last year? I don't even remember. I think I was in the top 10, wasn't I? Like 8th?
Something like that.
Yeah. So I've got 3 top 10 finishes and 2 top 3 finishes. So I'm definitely not Mr. Irrelevant.
No.
Poor Sea Dog has finished 2nd place, I think, 3 times. He's never won it. Boy, he keeps knocking on that door. He just can't win it.
Sea Dog is the Slav Olympics equivalent to the mid-2000s Ohio State.
Yeah. Also, every time I've competed in the Slav Olympics, I've been drunk. So I'm saying finishing in the top 10 or even top 5 while you're drunk is pretty much an accomplishment in itself. I should get a trophy for that.
Yeah, but I think you now see that might be the next time, not this year obviously because it's a team event, but next time we go back to individuals, you may want to try it sober and see if there's a correlation.
Well, the problem
if you finish like 20th sober, then you know.
Now, see, I never have tried to be drunk during the Slav Olympics. The problem is the night before we stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning drinking, giant bottles of tequila. And so then I get like 2 hours of sleep. I wake up drunk. And the only way to stay awake is to continue drinking. So it's a perpetual cycle of alcoholism that just doesn't really work for that kind of event.
This is true.
So I would have to go to bed early the night before, which I just don't think is going to happen.
No, I don't either.
I mean, I only get to see you guys like once or twice a year at most. So, you know.
Yeah, that's what kind of leads to all of that.
Exactly.
Live it up.
I'm a champion of the day before. How about that? We all are.
You're the pre-party and after-party champion.
Right. There you go. Sea-Dog has been lobbying to add karaoke to the slob events. Well, so that's not this is why we're going to talk about it tonight and going forward before we iron everything out. Because, like I said, one physical event, one mental event, and one silly event. I guess the karaoke could fall in that category as far as silly goes. But the reason...
Yeah, but how do you judge who wins a karaoke event?
Well, I guess who's the most entertaining. I guess not necessarily the best singer, but maybe who just, you know, is the funniest. Which Sea-Dog would have won that last year because he did that. What was that song he did?
Was it Ice?
House of Pain. Yeah.
Not House of Pain.
It was Ice Ice Baby.
No, it wasn't Ice Ice
Was
Baby.
it?
No.
I thought he did House of Pain.
No.
Yeah, he did.
No, he did, shit. I forget the name of the guy now. Does anybody in the chat remember what he did? Whatever it was, he killed it. Yeah, Bust a Move. Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Which clearly that was his 800th time performing that because, I mean, he did it like a pro.
That was well rehearsed.
He even had the dance to go with it. Yeah, Bust a Move. Where is College Game Day going this week? I would assume. Actually, I don't know. I'm not going to assume. I don't know. Ohio State probably, or wherever they're playing. What is it that? So, the Cotton Bowl is that Ohio State, and and Penn State.
I think so. No, they're playing Texas.
Huh?
I said
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ohio State and Texas. Is that the Cotton Bowl?
I think it is.
I think so. I can't remember.
Which is kind of jacked up. I mean, that's essentially a home game for Texas.
Yeah. And what's the other one? Is that the
Orange Bowl?
I thought the Orange Bowl was a national championship.
No, the Natty is in Atlanta.
Okay. So the other one's the Orange Bowl, and then the national championship is the Peach Bowl.
No, it's not. It's just the national championship.
Well, yeah, I'm still going to say it's the Peach Bowl because it's in Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick says that West Virginia is going to get Clemson's wide receiver transfer, Troy Stellato. Go white boy, go white boy, go.
Stellato. Yeah.
Clemson might be adding their third transfer. Dabo's on a roll. What's
3
that?
transfers in one off season.
The that Alexander, I think is his name, the linebacker that's transferring out of Alabama. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's visiting Clemson this week, and he was high school teammates with Peter Woods. So we got somebody to recruit for us too.
Oh, did you see that Jaden Rashada is transferring out of Georgia?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
In and out. Yeah.
Isn't stiletto a type of shoe? No, that's a stiletto.
Yeah, it's stiletto.
Yeah, he's in and out. Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure is a high heel.
Stiletto is also a knife.
Yep.
It is, yeah.
If Jaden Rashada were a fast food restaurant, he would be in and out.
Dabo's getting play. Yeah, he got what's his face from Purdue, the defensive end. He got a wide receiver from what was it, Southeast Missouri State or some shit. And they might get this linebacker from Alabama. I don't know. I'm still waiting. I'm perusing Twitter constantly every day, trying to see who Clemson's going to hire as defensive coordinator. I have no idea who it's going to be.
So did they fire Wesco?
Yeah, Goodwin.
Goodwin, sorry.
Yeah, Wesco's the wide receiver. Yeah, they didn't fire him. No,
Good.
He's still there.
I always get those two confused.
Yeah. Well, they didn't say they fired him, but they did. They just said that he's no longer with the team, which that means you fired him. So
I'm still not sure if Miami's fired their DC, which I don't think they should. But like the only thing that the University of Miami, and it wasn't even them, it was one of the insiders that posted, or quote unquote insiders, was that Lance Guidry was going to be fired, but as of yet, nothing has been released from Miami saying he has been fired.
that's interesting. You would think if they were going to do it, they would have already done it. Why would they be waiting?
I don't think he should be.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But
you know my stance. One bad year, and I wouldn't even consider the defense bad this year as a whole, shouldn't get somebody fired. But this is also a guy last January you gave a raise and extended so LSU wouldn't take him away.
yeah,
Like when when you're having to play that many true freshmen in your secondary, they're gonna fuck up because that's what true freshmen do. Like I don't get. Yeah, it sucks that the defense was what it was and the offense was great, but it is what it is.
I heard a rumor that Clemson might keep Wes Goodwin on staff as an analyst, just not a coordinator, which means that would be a genius move by him. So the way the contract works, they owe him $3 million, which is the remainder of his contract. Mm-hmm. If he takes another job somewhere else, they don't owe him the money. But if he stays at Clemson as an analyst, he'll be the highest paid analyst in all of college football at $3 million.
Yeah, you go. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much is Slapdick making at Georgia as an analyst.
Not that much, no.
Slapdick? You mean Muschamp?
I mean, technically, he wouldn't be being paid to be an analyst at $3 million. They just owe him $3 million. So I don't think analysts make that much money as far as a salary goes.
No, they don't.
No.
They don't.
I think there's actually a cap on it. Like you can only pay an analyst so much money. Isn't it like $38,000 a year or something? Like something really low.
Wow.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if there is a cap on it.
Mario has had 3 defensive coordinators in 4 years. Yeah, which is to Slim's point. Why would you want a 4th? I mean,
well, no. Lance Guidry's the 2nd D coordinator he's had since he's been in Miami, not 3. That's fake news.
Do analysts make and print the charts? Yes, I think they do. Yeah, they watch film in the broom closet, and then, after their lunch break, they go to the copy machine and print out the charts and laminate them.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny, too. We had a game in the rain when Dan Enos was the OC, and somebody didn't laminate his chart. And they were using that, saying that Dan Enos is so terrible. He's out there with a soggy piece of paper.
They didn't laminate.
I'm like, y'all Miami fans are something else, man.
They didn't laminate the chart. Yeah.
Damn. Now you're down bad, man. You can't even laminate the chart.
Well, something tells me the coordinator isn't the one in charge of laminating the chart.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess.
Yeah, it's probably a student.
Probably like a grad assistant.
Yeah, a grad assistant or some sort of intern, office intern.
Yeah.
Grad assistant, yeah.
If Guidry is fired, that will be 3. That's what he's saying. Okay, I don't know.
Well, yes, the next one that they hire would be his third for 4 seasons, but I don't think he should be myself. I don't think, like I said, one bad year constitutes being fired. And that was still, Miami was still top 25 in total defense. So I don't even really think you can call it a bad year. We come into the season knowing we had a suspect secondary. Injuries started stacking up in the secondary and a suspect secondary.
Yeah,
so it got even worse.
I agree with you because like with Wes Goodwin, even after last season, they weren't terrible defensively last year, but they weren't near as good as they should have been. But with Wes Goodwin, it was a steady decline over a 3-year period. It got worse each year. So, if that happened with Guidry,
we're not to that point.
Yeah, right. I mean, by about week 5 or whatever, whenever we played Louisville, I was done with Goodwin. I saw the writing on the wall at that point.
Well, I don't even think Louisville is a good benchmark for that because that was a top 10, top 13 offense in the country. Like, that's a good fucking offense.
Well, I'm not saying because of the Louisville game. I'm saying at that point in the season because it just, I mean, they were giving up. I mean, how many teams against Clemson this year set their season rushing record? I mean, like 3 of them did. The Citadel ran for like the Citadel ran for more yards on Clemson than they did on any team in the FCS. That's
why that's part of the reason I'm against firing him because like our run defense was fucking elite. It was top 10.
Yeah.
We had one game where they gave up over 130 yards rushing. Everybody else was under 130.
Right, and that was was that against Georgia Tech?
Yeah, that was against Georgia Tech.
Hoghead says he's thinking Tim Banks, the defensive coordinator for Tennessee. Well, I know that's the supposedly Clemson's #1 target. It's just a matter of whether he wants to take the job. And people say, why would you make a lateral move like that? Well, first of all, and I didn't know this until the other day, apparently, because Tim Banks has been at Tennessee for how long? 3 seasons, I think. And every year, statistically anyway, their defense has got better under him. Well, last year, they had a chance to offer him an extension and a raise, and they didn't give it to him. So his contract ran out after this season. And from what I'm hearing is that he's not happy about that. So he's somewhat at odds with the program as far as not giving him an extension last year. They put a new contract on his desk this year that he's yet to sign. So he might be disgruntled and trying to get out of there. I don't know.
I mean, I kind of agree with that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, basically, he's telling him, hey, you had your chance to keep me last year, and you didn't. So, well, like Rod says, go fuck yourself.
And I said the same thing about Brian Hartline. Like, I don't know how Ohio State kept him after demoting him for really no fault of his own.
And I don't understand the Tennessee fans are like, oh, you can have him. I mean, what?
Oh, Tennessee's ready to run half of their coaching staff.
Tennessee's problem is not their defense. I don't know what they've been watching.
Oh, they want to get rid of Tim Banks. They want to get rid of their OC, or not their OC, but their OC, their O-line coach, their wide receiver coach.
Yep. Yeah, they want to fire everyone, just like I said in my post-game Falcons video. Fire everyone. Yep.
I would be if they got Tim Banks at Clemson, I'd be happy with that pick. Fire everyone. He says Banks wants away from the idiot fan base. I don't think Banks gives a shit about the fans. I think he's mad about the contract deal.
And I understand it.
He might just be using this Clemson offer as leverage to get even a bigger contract at Tennessee. I don't know. I mean, that would be the smart thing to do. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming the guy's married. Does your wife want to leave Knoxville or not? That probably plays into it. These wives have a lot more pull than people think behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
I don't know if he has young kids or I don't know. What's his living situation, Hoghead? Do you know? Does he have kids that are in school? Because that all matters too.
I mean, to your point, Alabama. This was before Saban. Alabama was going to hire Rich Rod, but his wife didn't want to go to Alabama.
Yeah.
Now, funny, he ended up at Jacksonville State, so she still ended up in Alabama. But
Doink.
Right, but
that was many years later.
Still not in Tuscaloosa, but
He does have a family. Well, you know, he can move down and buy a house on Lake Kiwi next to Dabo Swinney. All them coaches live next to each other on that lake. Did you know that?
Yeah, and he can go to New Spring Church with Dabo.
Yeah, he can go to New Spring Church with Dabo. Dabo's got a house on Kiwi. I think his next door neighbor is C.J. Spiller. Garrett Riley has a house on Lake Kiwi. I mean, that's the nicest place to live up there, is on the lake. And it's only like a 20-minute.
We stayed up there. We were on Lake Hartwell, wasn't we?
Yeah, that was Lake Hartwell.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice lake, too.
Yeah, that's a huge lake, too. I mean, it's in two states. It's in Georgia and South Carolina. But Lake Kiwi is a small lake in the mountains. And it's a lot closer, too. I mean, well, not a lot closer. I guess parts of Lake Hartwell are close, but Lake Kiwi is only about a 20-minute drive from campus. So Kiwi's the nicer of the two lakes. Hartwell's the bigger of the two. A lot bigger.
Well, the smaller lake, it just, when you got two lakes like that, the smaller one ends up being more exclusive.
Yeah, and plus it's just a different scene. It's like I said, it's at the foothills of the mountains, and it's the water level stays high all year. The Duke Power Plant is in charge of the lake, so the Duke won't ever let the water level drop. It's a deep lake too. It's like 70 feet all the way across it.
Yeah, well, we were up there. That water level was down a little bit.
Yeah, Hartwell, during certain drought situations, it almost dries up.
Really?
Yeah. I want to say it was like 2011 or something. We had a big time drought in South Carolina, and Hartwell dropped like 30 feet or something. But Lake Kiwi stayed the same level. The amount of money on Lake Hartwell is insane. The houses are ridiculous. I mean, they're almost all mansions.
Well, yeah. I mean, shit, that one we stayed in was what, a 5-6 bedroom house?
Yeah.
I mean, that house was massive.
When you go to those lakes and see those houses, it doesn't surprise me that people have that much money, because obviously there's a lot of rich people. What surprises me is the amount of people that have that much money. I mean, you've got to be basically a millionaire to own any of those houses, and there's thousands of them.
Well, not really. You don't have to be a millionaire. I mean, you can buy, even today, you can buy a house on a lake like that, for $200,000, $300,000, $400,000.
I don't know. My brother had a house on Lake Kiwi. Now he's not a millionaire, but him and his in-laws, his wife's parents, they owned it jointly. They both owned 50% of the house. Now, it wasn't a mansion. It was a big house, but it wasn't. As far as like the standards on that lake, it was not one of the nicer houses.
Yeah. Well, and when I say that too, you're also talking about it's not going to be a huge house. I mean, for $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 on a lake like that, I mean, you're gonna get a house bigger than mine, but not by a whole hell of a lot.
I don't know how much they sold it for. I think it was close to $1 million. And it was a big, square footage wise, it was a big house, but it was old. It was built like in the 60s or 70s or something. But it was like 6 bedrooms, 3 levels. So it was big, but it was outdated. Anyway, they eventually because he lived in Georgia, and the in-laws didn't go there very often, and they rented it out for most of the year, like an Airbnb type situation. And according to him, it wasn't very profitable at all, renting it out, and it was more of a headache than anything. So
I get that too.
So they eventually sold it.
I mean, you almost have to, though. You almost have to rent it out and generate some income a lot of times just to be able to afford it.
Yeah, he told me nightmare stories about, because what would happen is, because it's such a big house and sleeps so many people, you know, they were renting it out during college football season in particular. And what would happen would be, well, they had an age limit, like you had to be at least, 25 years old to rent it. But what would happen would, the parents of college students would rent it, but not come, but let their college kids go. So there would be like 30, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids in there partying and fucking trash the place. And, one story in particular, a bunch of college kids rented it during game weekend one weekend and threw like a fucking, raging party there. And somebody got pushed through the sliding glass door. There was on the back of the house, like most houses on the lake, it's all windows. Well, somebody got pushed through that, and it basically collapsed almost the entire back window of the house. Now, they have insurance for that. You have to have renter's insurance, but the insurance companies aren't easy to deal with either. They're trying not to have to pay out, and they only pay out a certain amount of money. And so it just, he said it was a nightmare. Every time you got rented out, they had to go in there and, have people come in and fix shit that got broken. And when you're spending all that money doing that, you can't make any money. So
yeah, well, I mean, you're not going to all the time get renters like us that actually clean up behind ourselves.
Yeah.
Hell, I think we left that house cleaner than what we found it.
Probably, yeah. Am I going to stream any college basketball games? I mean, if I do, it'll just be for fun, to kill time. I don't have any plans on doing it, but if I'm home one night and got nothing going on and there's a game on, I might fire up a stream just for shits and giggles. But
stream any basketball?
Basketball skew?
Basketball.
Yeah. I don't know. But what I do know is I have to go.
Yeah, whoa, ran late today.
Yeah, wait, 37 minutes over. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm working overtime for free here.
Pete's a generous guy.
Yeah. Somebody's, last weekend I was streaming, somebody said I was selfish. I think it was related to not streaming basketball. And I said, selfish? What? I'm the opposite. Free entertainment. I'm selfless.
Maybe he was talking about the call-in show not happening for the past several weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, still, that's free too. Shit.
It is free.
Yeah. All
People
right.
sound ungrateful to me.
Yeah. Come on, man. All right. See you later, Vic. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Okay, bye, Pete.
Yeah.
Bye, Slim.
Yeah, go Panthers.
Bye, Vic.
I might have to go rewatch that Vic Rage video. That was worth the talk about free entertainment.
Right?
Yeah.
That's great. Listen, I was not joking when I say that authentically Mad Vic is the best shit on YouTube ever.
It is.
I mean, it's better than any Carolina jackpot drunk live stream.
I don't know if I go that far, but it's up there. It's a.
No, I'm talking about like you only get authentically Mad Vic every once in a while.
Yeah.
So because of its rarity is why it drives up the value of it.
Yeah, he gets so mad that he actually shakes.
Yeah. Starts grinding his teeth together.
Yeah, his teeth grind together, and also, he's in that chair. He can't. When he gets mad, he can't sit still, so he's constantly shifting around in the chair, like, swaying back and forth.
It's great. If you haven't watched it, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah, everyone go watch that right now. Actually, what are you even doing here? All right, Slim. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Had a good time.
Yes, sir.
All right, later. I'll be back tonight at 10 p.m. With your boy Uncle Lou for the Lunch Money Show. I did briefly break some Slob Olympics news as far as the way we're going to do the contest, but we're going to talk about it tonight on the show and try to get some ideas and input from the chat section on some of the events and how that's all going to work. We'll get it all worked out over the next couple of weeks, and then we'll get the ball rolling there. Also, we'll talk about, obviously, the playoff games that are coming up on Thursday and Friday night. So tune in for that. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys tonight at 10 o'clock.